All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. We're about 11 minutes late because we've run into technical problems. So we're going to get to do this the old-fashioned way and show people pictures on paper. All right, my name's Doug McGibbon. I'm the Special Magistrate. Most of the cases we're going to hear today are either going to be violation hearings or fine assessment hearings. Hopefully everyone has signed in so they've pulled your file and they can get you out of here quickly. When your case is called, please go up to that podium over there, tell us who you are and what your address is. Object. They will put on their case. You can ask them questions. You can put on whatever witnesses or evidence you want. And at the end, I get to make a decision. That flips when we get to the fine reduction hearings. Those people have been through a violation hearing and a fine assessment hearing. They're asking for relief, so they get to go first, and the village gets to respond. I'm going to swear everyone in. We'll probably do this multiple times as strays come in, so everyone please raise your right hand. Say, I do, and we're done. Does everyone swear or affirm the testimony they're about to give is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Everyone does, except for the young lady there who's not going to talk. All right, let's take it away, Village, and see how we can wander our way through. Oh, look, we've got me on the screen. I'm boring. I'd rather have pictures of houses.
Thank you, Special Magistrate Amity Barnard, Village Attorney. We're starting on page 1 of the agenda. It's fine assessment hearing, case 24-0963, 132 Cortez Avenue, Juan C. Alzate and William G. Cifuentes. Maria D. Munoz.
Good evening, Special Magistrate. My name is Anthony Sallin, Code Inspector with the Village of Royal Palm. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, an order finding violation, and also an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos, and Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance.
Okay, well, we'll start off with an easy one.
Just the papers, not the, yeah.
Juan Galeano.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the order that was sent certified mail that came back. Exhibit 2 is an affidavit of posting for that. Excuse me, that's part of Exhibit 1 as well, the affidavit of service for that mailing. Exhibit 2 is the prior order finding violation. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property. And Exhibit 4 is dated photographs. And the final exhibit is an affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. So this is going to be a finding of fact. Do we have anything else to do on this one? Oh. All right, so.
So your prior order required compliance on or before March 27th. The respondents complied on April 3rd, so we're asking for a fine of $150 and not continuing for the period from 3/28 to 4/2.
All right, they're saying that you fixed the problem, you just fixed it a few days too late, and there will be a $150 fine assessed against the property. Is this homestead property? Council, do we know? Is it homesteaded?
You have the property appraiser printout. I don't recall, sir.
All right. Well, if it's homesteaded property, there's really nothing that's going to happen to it until you sell it. You'll have to pay the $150 back someday in the far distant future. Yeah, homestead and additional homestead, so they're covered. All right, so $150 fine, no continuing. Like I said, it's just going to sit there until you get ready to sell the property. And then you'll pay the $150.
I'm actually trying to sell it right now, so I will go ahead.
Your title company will get this as part of their title chain abstract. They'll say, oh, you have a fine of $150. We have to hold that back. So no big deal for anybody.
Right now?
No, especially if you're going to be closing, the title company will send over a check.
Okay.
Okay?
Can I get like something to send to the title because they're
Yeah, you'll get an order. I usually sign them on Monday or Tuesday, so you could probably get it later on in the week.
to get something today because we're actually supposed to be closing on the 11th. That's why I was trying to.
Yeah, the only thing you can get today is you can get an email from the code enforcement supervisor that will tell them what happened at the hearing and that they're waiting to sign an order. So you need to contact her
Business
during
card?
normal business hours.
Leave the code officer your information.
I have
You have his email or something?
his phone number and everything.
Okay.
His email.
I would really appreciate it, yes.
Email him an order.
Leave the code enforcement officer your email before you leave here, and we'll get you a draft or an email or whatever
Here,
you need.
walk over there, write down your email address for the code enforcement officer. We'll take care of this right now. Ever. Yeah. Write down your address or your email address so he can contact you, and they'll send something, hopefully, that'll help your title
With
company
him,
be happy.
So Anthony can take care of that. It's Margaret's up now.
Okay, one down, many to go.
We're on page 2, Special Magistrate Case 24-0930, 500 North State Road 7, Coral Sky Retail LLC.
Margaret Hancock, Code Enforcement Officer for the Village of Royal Palm. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS 400 permit information.
On behalf of BJ's Wholesale?
And your counsel, correct?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation with the signed certified mail. The next page is the second page of the order. Exhibit 2 is verification showing ownership from the property appraiser's website.
Correct.
Exhibit 3 is dated photographs.
These are from today? Or
That's
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yep. And then the final exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Any objection to the documents?
I have no objection to those documents now.
Okay, do you have
All
additional
right,
documents
admitted
you want in
without
the record?
objection.
Yes, I
we'll
have
get to-
additional photographs that I'd like to enter,
All right, we'll get to that when you get
as
to
well
your
as,
side.
as well as a permit application as well.
All right,
Let's do all of that right now so that I can give it to the magistrate. So
Sure.
go ahead and explain, is it all the same or are all these photos you're trying to enter?
These are 3 copies of the same. They're essentially, actually, we can enter all 3. Just make sure that they're not duplicative. They are duplicative here. I'd like to enter a copy of these, as well
And
as,
what's the dates of these photos?
these are from this morning.
So do you want to write that on there so that
Yes,
they're,
if I could, Barry, thank you.
just write it on the front? And that applies to all of the photos in this packet?
No. These are from this morning, and these, I do not know the dates on these, but they were recently taken.
Okay, so just put undated.
Here you go.
And then what is that?
This is an application of BLD,
That's to the village's system, the project docs?
yes, this is,
number? Okay.
yeah. And this is a permit application for the BOPIC, which is a part of the violation.
Okay. Okay.
all right, any objection to the documents? Admitted over objection because I let everything in. All right. All right, we'll call this defendant's composite number 1. All right, Counselor, the undated photographs, is that during the period of painting? I'm just
That's
trying-
correct, Your Honor.
And the current photographs are
As of this morning.
as of this morning. Okay. All right, so tell me about this case, Village of Royal.
Pardon me?
Your case, please.
He's asking you to present your side of the case.
So originally, they had painted the exterior of the building without approval. I guess approval was not obtainable, so they started painting it back the original colors. As of yesterday, they were not done painting the exterior of the building, although they were working on it. And then they still had not, to my knowledge, obtained the permit for the wall on the interior that they constructed without a permit.
Okay. All right, it was a lovely terracotta there for a few weeks.
Yes, Your Honor. We have started painting the project. We had a few rain delays. It's our intention to comply with the village's request that it be painted back to its original colors. That's exactly what we're doing. And we have applied with the building department for the BOPIC area, which is that interior wall section. It's currently under BLD 20629. That's the permit application as it sits now with the Village of Royal Palm Beach Building Department. We only ask for some additional time to finish the project and to get word back from the building department as to the permit. An additional 30 days may be enough.
So your permit's going to be sent back to your contractor. He needs to upload an application. All he did was upload a drawing.
Okay, I'll make sure to notify him. I know that he had to go under an application process himself to be approved as a contractor with the city, and that took some additional time.
I wouldn't know because I can't tell who the contractor is. Literally, we just have a drawing.
Okay,
Any contractor information or anything else on him.
okay, so he'll have to upload an application as well?
Yeah, it's called a contractor data sheet. He'll
Okay.
have to do that. And if any electrical or anything like that was done, and that's a different trade, then that would have to be included as well.
Okay,
And when did the
Make
village
sure to do
receive the
that.
application?
4/8 at 12:07 PM. It's actually my permit.
Thank you.
So I just happened to see it. I'm got the permitting open.
So he wants more time. I'm looking at this and saying, I signed this order on February 18th. I don't see anything with regards to the building application. It seems to be yesterday.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So why was I ignored until yesterday?
Your Honor, you were not ignored. We have
Well,
discussed.
that's what I'm getting the feeling of, because, painting it back is great, and you'll be done in a day or two, and whatever fines I establish will stop that.
Yes, Your Honor,
But here's the problem, there's some level of diligence required. Someone decided to build, what was this, a wall of some kind? And it's like, okay, let's build an interior wall. All right, we got caught because it wasn't permitted. Okay, we have an order now entered, and you're waiting till the day before the hearing to apply for a permit, to ask for grace from me to get more time.
Your Honor, BJ's is a very large corporation. It took an internal process and review to get this project growing. We had internal debates about whether an application was necessary and whether a variance was possible. I had multiple calls with code enforcement and planning and zoning over the past several weeks to discuss the likelihood of success regarding the application. While the date, yes, it's unfortunate for the building permit application, there has been extensive efforts on our part to decide what exactly we want to do regarding the paint colors, what's feasible, and what was likely to succeed.
We're not dealing with paint right now, we're dealing with the interior wall, because that's what needed to be permitted.
Yes, that was also discussed multiple times with contracting in our internal process. I did not make have those conversations myself. BJ's has its own internal counsel that deals with these issues. I know that they were discussed extensively. There were delays, but there is the full intent to comply with what the village and Your Honor has ordered.
All right, so what does the village think of the delay here, and what do you?
Our position is, we would ask you, based on where you are in the process, to start the fine running. They can always come back to you for fine mitigation in the future. It's my understanding, and the code enforcement officer can testify, but the painting just started within the last few days as well. So I understand what he's saying, there's a process, but this violation was written in November, so we're 5-6 months
I'm not worried
into
about
the
November.
process.
I'm worried about after February 18th. We had a hearing. Were you here? I think you were here.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know, it was like, okay, we need to go do something. And, you know, if BJ's wants to take 30 to 60 days to run through an internal process, they're going to have to pay a fine if they're not going to be timely. I mean, that's just about as easy as you can be. You know, they didn't have this, it seems, major internal process when they decided to put up a wall or paint the building. So here I am with an unpainted or a nearly repainted building, but the wall's still a problem.
Your Honor, the application is pending.
The application is not really an application if you haven't filled out an application. All you've done is submit a picture. I mean, truly, there's an application, right? It's got names and addresses and all kinds of stuff that you don't even know the contractor's name, do you?
No.
Your contractor wasn't even brave enough to put his name on the application. What am I supposed to do?
Your Honor, I only ask for, it is BJ's full intention to comply. I only ask for additional
The time to ask for this stuff was
time.
at the hearing in February.
Yes, Your Honor, and what we've done is progress towards what you have asked us to do. At the prior hearing, you asked specifically for progress on this particular issue. We have started repainting the building. We have put in an application for review with the BOPIC. We're in the process now.
Okay. You're in the process now. There's a current request or requirement that you be done by a certain date. That date is passed. What's the fine amount?
This has been out of compliance for 13 days at $50 a day, so it's $650 and continuing.
See, if you would have had a better application in, maybe I'd think about it, but this is so late. This is so last minute. This is so, you know, not responsive. All I can do right now is, because of where I am in the process, is grant the $650 plus continuing and hope that you get your stuff together.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Staying on the same page, case 25-0111 at the bottom, 155 South State Road 7, 101, 309, 315 11th Street, LLC.
Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, excuse me. Affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Write down his name if you get it. Your name, ma'am, for the record?
Sanji Cage,
Spell your first name,
SONJI,
last name,
CAGE,
and your relation to the LLC.
fiduciary agent for the owner, property manager. Thank you.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record.
Okay.
Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the previous order finding violation.
Okay.
I think this is also part of Exhibit 1. It's the previous order finding violation with the signed certified mail.
Okay. Okay.
Page 2 of that order.
All right, so this is March 21st, 27th, okay.
This is the affidavit showing it was posted to the property.
No, and I have all of that. So
Right.
we had to have the sign.
Hold on, we'll get there.
Okay.
Let's do the documents first, and then we'll
Yes.
get to the merits.
Okay,
Exhibit 2 is a verification of ownership showing who owns the property.
yes.
Exhibit 3 is dated photographs.
Any date for 4/2, okay.
Yes, ma'am. 4/2. And Exhibit 4 is an affidavit of compliance.
Gotcha.
Any objection to these documents being entered?
None.
Thank you.
Without objection. All right, is this a finding of fact, or will you do more?
The small fine, but now they are in compliance.
Asking that fine be waived because we act,
Wrong place to ask the fine be waived. Actually, this is the wrong, I take that back. This is the wrong time. You don't waive a fine until I enter the fine.
Oh,
You come
okay,
back-
my apologies.
You come back for a fine reduction hearing.
Okay.
Which is a very popular thing. You'll see there's 2 pages at the end. They're the folks that always show up. All right, so what is the small fine we're talking about?
This one was out of compliance. Your previous order required compliance by 3/27. They complied on 4/5, so the fine ran from 3/28 to 4/4, 7 days, so 350 and not continuing.
350, no continuing. Because of where we are in the process, I get to sign that order, then you get to talk to them, or actually, well, you can present your side, go ahead.
Okay, so I sent Margaret, before the deadline, a picture of the stop sign that we placed and paid for. I even can show you on my phone where the contractor is there taking a picture after he installed it and texted it to me. I then emailed it to her. When she went to inspect it, it was removed again. So technically, that's why I feel like, my owner is older, they're an older couple. I go to that property every 2 weeks. I have 2 tenants there. They're on call and talk to them every single day. So when she told me the sign was done, and Margaret would tell you I'm very responsive. I call her right away, I jump right on it. And we did have it removed, so we've now paid for it 3 times. And I don't want us to be blamed for like vandalism, so to speak, but I have the proof.
Not sure where that photo was, because looking at your photo and then looking at the property where the stop signs were missing, it didn't match up to me.
The picture, you can see the building in the back,
In
though.
these pictures, if you look up, this stop sign here facing rooms to go, I have never seen this one here in the bushes, which is there now. And then this one facing Palm Air had disappeared through the process.
Right.
So,
But it was initially
but
one
the
that
one facing rooms to go, I hadn't seen that in months. And I never seen one when you said it was replaced. So,
I have the email I sent you for the first one. So there was only one, it was only one stop sign missing in question. So
in
when
the beginning, yes.
Yeah, so we had that replaced, and when
but then
someone
if you're
removed
missing
it, they removed 2. And
If
we
you're
had those
missing a
2.
stop sign, you're missing a stop sign. And I never seen, like I said, I never seen the one facing rooms to go until just recently on the 5th, when you said you were done, when I went out to re-inspect.
Okay,
So that's when you were put into compliance.
okay. This is what I emailed on the 25th of March, and then we did it again, had it replaced again in April, and I sent another picture, so.
Yeah, but I'm saying
At this
that's-
point, I've done my best, and the reason why I'm here and drove from Tampa is because we are here every 2 weeks, we do our job, and it just seems like to have a fine over a stop sign that was removed twice is unfair. No, but we didn't either. Our contractors, and we jumped right on it.
So you're responsible for your properties, right? You're the one who's responsible for your properties.
Mailbox at your home, you're going to be able to take care of that within, 2 hours? Sometimes you have to get contractors and get supplies. I'm just trying to be fair about the whole process.
My mailbox would take me less than 2 hours. I have a 4x4 post and I have a plastic mailbox on top of it.
Mine was custom.
My mailbox
Mine
is
was
actually-
custom, and I had to wait 3 weeks.
Mine is actually set up so it's not concrete into the ground, so I can pull it out of the ground for a hurricane and throw it in the garage.
I can prove to you mine I had to wait 3 weeks for, because in my HOA, we all have to have the same mailbox, and I had to wait 3 weeks for mine. So I'm sorry, but,
I'm just saying,
okay.
you're using a bad example for me, so I can do it. But here's the problem, you have 3 stop signs missing, you showed me a picture of one that's been replaced with missing ones. Right?
They-
Is that the story? I mean, I'm trying to get the story right.
She said that one was replaced, but when I look at the picture that she sent me in an email, to me, it doesn't match up with the property and the locations where the stop signs were missing. So when I did go out to re-inspect, the stop signs were not there where she said they were replaced. So she said that somebody moved them. Now, this isn't something that would been 2 weeks. This was originally written on February 3rd with a courtesy notice email prior. So they have had plenty of time, and every time I've been through there, the stop signs were not there, including again on April 2nd when this photo was taken.
And she's correct, we had it replaced in February, and then we had it replaced again in March. I don't know, but I guess we're gonna have to try to get mattress firm or someone to put cameras and see if we can catch them.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like
Yeah.
someone needs a trail camera or a security camera over there, but, what I'm saying is not the village that's doing this. It's somebody on your property.
No,
or someone who's
I'm
gone-
absolutely not saying it
Who's gone
is.
to your property to remove these things.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the villages at all. What I'm saying is
I'm
villages,
saying
when
is-
you guys give us a notice, you give us time to comply. I comply within that time frame. I have the proof and backup. I sent that, and I'm still here. I think that the first one, it should have been closed out, and a new one should have been open when the other two were taken, but
I can't close out a case
you
when I
explain
go
that.
out
I'm
to
not- yeah, I just don't-
re-inspect,
I
and it's not
respect
there.
that. I know you guys have your rules. I just don't think that if we get a notice and I take care of it, we should have to pay a fine. But it is what it is. If you tell me we have to pay a fine, we're going to pay a fine. I
Well,
came here so we wouldn't have
You can come
to.
back for a fine reduction hearing. This is a great story. I like the fact that you replaced it, it got stolen, you replaced it again.
I don't know if my time in driving here to Tampa, we'll see how much it is and how, what the
Is it
print.
worth $700 or $650, or can you get
We'll
someone
see how it
else?
goes.
If you're gonna get someone else to come here, I mean, this is not like the most difficult thing, you just have to come in with some evidence.
No, I get it.
Now, I'm showing 2 or 3 spots where there's supposed to be stop signs. I've heard a story that a stop sign was replaced and removed and replaced.
No, I got you.
And they're now saying it's been replaced again, so the fine is stopped. But I don't know who took it. I don't know
Did see
where
it
went.
this time, so there was a stop sign on April the 5th.
On April the 9th. It could be gone again. I don't know who.
I just
who-
left
I don't
there,
know
so
who's
hopefully it's not. I just left there.
Stop sign this is, offending, or if someone needs an extra aluminum, I don't know.
I have no idea.
You may want to, put a camera out there just because this is more entertaining than the most. I don't want to do this because you've tried and you
That's what I get paid to do.
world is
I
not
get
working.
paid to try. We all get paid to do a job. I have to come here and try.
The world is not working, for you because they keep going away.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do with this.
So the record is clear, this is not a mailbox, these are stop signs. So this is a public safety issue. When the stop sign is not there, it's a safety concern.
But I'm also the town attorney for a town, and I've been that for like ever. It's like 35 years. And, it takes a few days to get a stop sign. You got to order them from the stop sign.
Thank you for
companies.
recognizing that. Thank you.
My little town has a couple in reserve because people tend to run them over.
Oh, yeah.
So, they don't get lost, they get destroyed.
Yeah.
We got a couple posts, we got a couple extra stop signs. So, it's
Yeah.
just, but here I am.
I
In the
know.
process, and it wasn't there, but it's a good story, and I like to hear it again at a hearing where I can do something about it. But this is the hearing where I get to say, 650 plus continuing is granted, and then we move on to the next phase.
350, Special Magistrate.
350?
350, yes, sir.
Okay, it's even 350. Oh, I had the wrong, I'm just reading the wrong case. Yeah, it's 350 plus continuing is granted, or plus no
Not
continuing.
continuing. Thank you.
350, period. And see if someone wants to show up for another hearing. You don't have to do it yourself.
No, I'm the only one to do it, so we'll see how it goes. See if the owner wants to pay the $350 or wants Sanji to come back. We'll see.
Or we can try to coordinate your meeting with this meeting. with
Thank
the
you.
clients. Whatever,
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
no continuing.
350?
350.
And
no
I'll get the
continuing.
paperwork, though, to the office. All right.
And you can't
Thanks.
pay anything until an order is signed, so don't try to do it too fast.
3 repeat violation hearings, 25-0121, 1153 Grandview Circle, Anna and Catherine Lassard.
My continuance.
Good evening, Special Magistrate. My name is Andrew Armienti. I'm a code inspector with the Village of Royal Palm Beach. Code section is 23-18B1A. This is a repeat violation. The repeat violation was observed on 02/125. The notice of violation was sent certified mail along with the notice of hearing and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the order setting repeat violation hearing. Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing, notice of violation, notice of hearing with an affidavit of service. Exhibit 3 is the previous order finding violation from February 14th, 2022, case number 21-0829. Exhibit 4 is a verification of ownership. Exhibit 5 are the pictures, and Exhibit 6 is the affidavit of compliance.
Your name, ma'am?
Anna Lassard.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the previous order resetting tonight's repeat hearing with the dated and returned certified mail.
Okay.
page 2 of that order. Exhibit 2
That was the
is
first
the,
one.
yeah, it's the affidavit of service the first time that came back, the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for the repeat violation,
And then that was the
previous,
first
the
one.
original order finding violation from the first violation hearing. Exhibit 4 is verification of ownership,
And the photos.
and the dated photographs. And then the final exhibit 6 is an affidavit of compliance, and I believe you just walked in?
Yes.
So he needs to be sworn in before he gives us his name. Any objection to these documents?
No, none at all. Put your hand up, your right hand.
There, try to, yeah, good. You swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so I do.
I do.
He does. Cool. GPS.
Special Magistrate, just for the record,
Do I give this to you?
First his name.
Oh, Frank.
last name Frank?
Call, C-A-L.
Okay. Now, you get to show those documents to council first.
So they printed them out backwards. It starts from the bottom.
So I had to get in contact with my director of safety, who then contacted my GPS company, Samsara. So that's from February 1st to the end of March. It shows you the times, the dates. The addresses aren't correct because it just it pings. Like our address is 1153, but it says 1189, 1191.
Okay, so how many times? Make it easy.
Like one time was 4 hours, another time was 12 hours, one time was 3 days.
The one on, this February 1st, the one on February 1st was the 3 days.
Was 3 days. I couldn't park there. They were pouring 10,000 yards of concrete. So they told me I needed to find somewhere else to park for 3 days. It was a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They were pouring in Delray.
3 days and 2 days, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just trying to do actual time.
yeah.
No, I have times, dates.
No, that's fine.
Mama.
I believe in modern life. Technology.
I told them exactly what I need. You requested from the 1st to the 12th, so they gave me from the 1st to,
I have 2 daughters. It's a great ploy to walk in with her.
Oh, well, it was not my
Whatever
choice. I'll be quite honest.
Whatever works.
I went there at 8:48 a.m., and then I came back at 9:51 a.m. I was still there for over an hour.
So Special Magistrate, I have to object to this printout because it is in direct conflict with the photographs that you have on the screen. I'm not sure where this was printed from, and I also don't know if this was manipulated from wherever it was printed from. It
Well,
doesn't
we'll
have
see, we'll
anything
see.
on the top or the bottom.
You're saying that on February 1st, there is no date?
I'm
in-
saying that the times that are on these photographs that are before you from February 1st do not appear on this sheet. So,
it should be on the bottom highlighted. And it says the 1st through the 3rd. The truck was there for 3 days.
He said, he's admitting that it was there on the 1st all day. That's what
right,
I'm
the
saying.
trouble with this is that the duration says it was there for 2 minutes and 6 minutes and 22 minutes.
Picking the days, okay? I don't care if it's a 1-minute thing on a day.
It's very weird how the time is, for some reason. I was trying to figure it out too when he emailed it to me from his office yesterday.
Courtney, my safety
But
director.
it's weird, the time stamps. But it was there for 3 days. I just don't understand the time, because the time is, it's backwards for some reason.
Right.
Okay, so
And
I'm saying that last time we were here, you had a fine for X number of days, right? How many days was that? 40.
That's
And
right.
they're saying that they can prove that they were only doing this 5 days. So I will do a nice sufficient fine on the 5 days so it's not a regular thing or an easy thing, because, you're not supposed to be parking this thing there.
Yes.
Yes.
May need to get a key from whatever lot.
I did. If you see, it hasn't been there
Now we do.
since.
Yeah.
I've made completely different arrangements.
Okay. So,
Just because that is
Yeah,
very
I
difficult to
understood.
determine what that is, and it doesn't correlate with the photos that we have here that are time and date stamped.
all right, I'm just saying that the testimony he has given, that it is there, it was there all day. So that kind of makes it not as off as you're saying. So, all right. You don't want them to park there. They're not going to park there anymore because he now has a key, so he doesn't have to park there anymore. And they were there for 5 days, and we need a nice fine so they don't come back and do it again. So, but I only want to do it for the 5 days. What were we talking about?
$50 a day fine.
See, that's your 5 days. And 150 is what? 153, 456, 750. Okay?
I'll take it.
750 is a lot better than 40.
5,700, what, it was
It was
5,700.
5,700 last time, so I'll take it.
So 750, and next time, it's going to be more, so.
Yes, sir.
Deal.
Okay? But yeah, I'll take the GPS testimony with yours, with the admission that you were there on 5 different occasions during this 40-day period, but you were not there on the other times. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
And that's what I wanted, was some backup to this. Okay? So, on the repeat violation case 25-121, I find that there was a violation of the code for a period of 5 days at $150 a day for a $750 fine with no continuing. Okay? And the next time it happens, it's probably going to go to 300, so.
It shouldn't happen again.
So this will not be a continuing thing or a, oops, this is easier just to pay $150 and run back.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
No, I just like proof. Proof is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
So I gave you the opportunity, you came up with something.
And we appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, 750, no continuing. I'll sign that one, granted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Special Magistrate.
All right,
Page violation hearings 25-0074.
Can I get that paper, just so I can show her, like, how to look at it, kind of?
No,
thing?
it's fine.
Oh,
It's
no,
done.
it's fine.
It's done. It's
We get to
squashed.
keep this.
All right, that's fine, that's fine.
Take off.
Say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The judge once told me when you leave.
25-0074, 10348 Showboat Lane, Ilinette Angulo Diaz.
Special Magistrate, the code sections are 15-142 and 15-132, bare spots in the front yard, bare spots in the swale. I observed the violation on 12425, and the notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent out on 12425 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation and notice of hearing with an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Okay.
Your
Don't
names
see
for the
why.
record?
Your Honor, my name is Ricardo Rodriguez. She just kind of asked me for translate for her.
So go slower. Your first name was Ricardo
Ricardo Rodriguez. Yes.
Rodriguez. And you're translating?
I'm translating for her.
And her name is?
Eliana Angolo.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll explain them to you and then give
Yes,
you a moment. I'll pause and you can explain to her. So these are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record.
Estos son lo que ellos quieren que pongas en el récord.
Exhibit 1 is the certified mail with an affidavit of service showing it was posted to the property.
Ellos te dejaron esa información en la propiedad. ¿Tú recibiste eso?
The notice of violation, notice of hearing. Yep, these are the same documents that you have there. Notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, showing that she owns the property.
Tú eres la dueña de esa propiedad.
And Exhibit 3 is a dated photograph of the violation.
So what is exactly the violation? So I can,
So
what she needs to do.
the code officer can explain it,
Okay.
but it says it in the notice of violation. So it says what she needs to do to
Yes,
correct it in
okay.
there.
¿Ya tú removiste eso? Okay. Sí.
Can you ask her if she has any objection to these documents being entered into the record?
¿Tienes alguna objeción que eso pongan en la información, en el récord? O-
¿Alguna foto?
No, que si ellos lo pueden usar los documentos.
yeah.
Yes, it's fine.
No objection?
No objection.
4 years of high school Spanish pay off. All right, so
Yeah,
any
there's,
cars, I take it. Go
no,
ahead.
it's not, for this case, that just happened to be my reinspection picture. They're parking in the front lawn, which they shouldn't be doing. This case is for the bare spot, that massive bare spot in the front yard and for this wall.
Okay, so.
It needs to be sodded.
Yeah, it's,
That's the only problem that she has right now?
yeah, well, she's going to have another problem if that truck decides to park there. Whose truck is that?
You can't park on the front yard. However, for this particular case, it's the bare spot and the front yard and this wall.
Okay.
So, but do not park on the front yard.
Okay. No pueden parquear en el frente de la yarda. Y eso que tienes ahí, tienes que ponerle hierba. O lo que está sin hierba, tienes que ponerle hierba. ¿Qué tiempo necesitas para eso?
Yeah, tell her that the truck parking there would be a new case.
El caso, si te siguen parqueando la camioneta ahí, te van a hacer un caso nuevo. Okay, so no puedes parquear más la camioneta y tienes que poner hierba.
Okay, no puedo parquear nada en lo que no
En la hierba no se puede parquear, tienes que parquear encima del driveway.
Okay.
So, hierba.
Porque 3 meses, porque voy a sacar un permiso para entonces agrandar el driveway.
Does she need, she say she's going to need about 3 months so she can get a permit to make the driveway bigger because she needs the parking.
What she needs right now is just to put some sod down.
It don't matter,
She can
okay.
take as much time as she wants to make the driveway bigger.
Okay, lo que necesitas ahora es poner la hierba, okay, y después tienes el tiempo que tú quieras para hacer el driveway como tú quieras.
Okay.
Pero ahora necesitas ponerla. How long does she have to put the sod on?
We're asking for compliance by May 1st or appearance at the June 11th hearing or $25 a day fine.
All right, so June hearing, what's the June hearing?
June 11th.
6/11. All right, and you want May 1st?
This was written in January.
I understand, it's just,
sod is you don't need permits, you just,
no, I understand that too. It's just, we are right at the edge of the rainy season. And I want to give her at least enough time for, give her like another couple weeks, so mid-May, that'll get her to the point where hopefully we are to the point where nature is irrigating the world and it will catch rather than having to go out there and buy a whole bunch of sod to watch it die. So May, give me a middle.
15th.
15 is wonderful. All right, 5/15, so she needs to get it sodded by May 15th.
Okay, necesitas poner la hierba antes de mayo 15. Otherwise, she's going to get a fine for how much?
No, she's not going to get a fine if she does it. If
Okay.
she doesn't do it, then she'll get the fine.
Okay, right.
And the fine would be 25? Yeah.
$25 a day. So she wants to get the grass planted and then call the code enforcement officer so he can come re-inspect.
Tienes que plantarla, tienes que poner la hierba, okay, y llamar a Code Enforcement para que ellos vayan y chequen que todo esté bien. Ya con eso tú llamas y que todo esté bien. Es que, y tienes hasta mayo 15 si quieres apuntar. Tienes hasta mayo 15. Yeah, she understands everything.
All right, and this is for everyone in the room. I have literally gone home because I live in La Mancha and seen people fix things on my way home from the code enforcement meeting that night. But it doesn't count until you call the code officer for a reinspection. So everyone needs to call for a reinspection to show off the work you did. So once she gets the sod laid down, her first phone call will be to Andrew to get him to come out to take a picture and say it's good.
En cuanto te pongan la hierba, lo primero que tienes que hacer es llamar, porque él ha visto muchos casos de que las personas hacen los arreglos y no llaman. Okay, tienes que llamar para que ellos vayan y tiren las fotos.
No questions from the audience. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, 5/15, 6/11, 25 is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir,
She'll get something in the mail next week.
oh, but nothing today.
Yeah, nothing today.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we're moving to page 5 of the agenda, second case down, 25-0090-105 Bella Vita Drive, Propel Home Investments LLC.
Special Magistrate, the code section is 12-4C, 6-190A1, garbage can not screening to code, and a stained door. I observed the violation on 1/28/25. A notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent certified mail and delivered and signed for on 2/3/25. I'd like to submit the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1, the notice of violation and notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Your name for the record?
Alisa Souza.
spell your first name?
Lisa.
S-O,
ZA.
and your relation to the LLC?
I'm one of the owners.
Managing member.
Member. Yes, Your Honor.
Are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record? Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, and the signed certified mail.
Yes, ma'am.
Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property. Exhibit 3 is dated photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. So the staining picture is what you're showing me on the
Yes, sir, the garbage
well,
cans.
garbage is easy, but
It's right up front, it needs to be screened. I guess in this instance, it would have to be inside the garage since, given the circumstances of the structure. And the door on the balcony is severely stained, needs to be cleaned or painted or
painted.
whatever gets the job done.
Yep, it's a spray paint job, probably. All right, so tell us about your side.
Your Honor, I purchased this property in foreclosure on December 4th. We had received the title, the certificate of title, December 20th. As of today, I do not have possession of the property. I do have a hearing tomorrow, April 10th, for an order, writ of possession, and that's basically where I stand. Till today, I do not have possession of the property.
You have a filed eviction action, you have service on the eviction, and now you have a hearing for them to be removed. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct, Your Honor. I have the notice of hearing here that's dated tomorrow, April 10th. We originally had a hearing on April 30th, and it was entered into the docket on we originally had a hearing on January 30th for the writ of possession. It only got entered into the system the first time, February 24th, when we noticed the incorrect parcel ID and incorrect address was listed. So my attorney had to file for a new hearing, which is tomorrow.
All right,
So
he's
currently,
gotta fix a Scribner's error or something.
yes. So currently I have just the motion for the amended order of, the amended order for writ of possession and the notice of hearing to prove that I do not have access to this property as of yet.
All right, council, want to go look at those or no?
Has your attorney given you any indication of when you will have possession?
So we don't precisely know, given the circumstances of the first order and how long it took to enter into the system. That was about 30 days, basically. And then once we do receive it, we still have to take it to the sheriff's department, and they say that's another 10 to 14 days.
Yeah.
So if my hearing is tomorrow, I would hope that the courts enter the writ of possession faster than 30 days like the first time, but that's something that's completely out of my control, and I don't know how Palm Beach County courts works per se.
I used to, but they changed.
Yeah, so,
Everything's now Zoomy.
yeah,
To be able to walk in there and actually get them to sign it.
yeah, I've never worked with them.
All right, so they want more time. They're trying. What does the village want?
We were asking for compliance to have her at the May hearing, but given where she is, the June hearing is probably more appropriate. We would ask that you stick to that timeline just to get her back here to give us another
Oh, no,
update.
not a problem with June at all. I'm thinking maybe the same time frame I did on the last one,
That's fine.
5:15, 6:11, was that it?
Or a $25 a day fine, and if you'd prefer, the order could reflect the status/fine assessment hearing.
Sure, status fine. Now, are these our copies or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good, okay, they will go into the file then.
I do also have the,
Object to it. Okay, so you have until May 15th. Hopefully, everything will go through the system for you and you'll be able to get to the point of doing this.
yes, Your Honor. I hope so,
Get
too,
rid of your tenants, you can move the trash cans into the garage, you're good there.
and clean up.
And just do a quick spray painting of the doors, I guess, would probably be the easiest thing there.
And same thing, if you're not done, come with the same evidence that you brought here tonight so that
Okay.
he knows
That
what
way,
you've
at
done.
least we'll know when it was
Where I
entered.
stand.
You know, your attorney will have, because you have to pay them to execute on the writ, so he'll know the date of the check and whatever else. It was transmitted to the sheriff. That way you can say, the court took a month, the sheriff hadn't done it yet, like I told you.
Understood. I'll
Okay.
bring it, hopefully I can comply by then.
Well, everyone
I mean, I
wants
want
you to,
access, this is
but
bad.
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
All right, 515, 611, or 25 for a status/fine assessment.
Thank
Granted.
you.
See, she didn't testify at all.
6 at the top, 25-0206, 101 Hemingway Court, Progress Residential Borrower 12 LLC.
Special Magistrate, the code section is 15-1041, excuse me, for a dead palm tree. I observed the violation on 2/21/25. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 2/21, and the green card was signed on 2/27. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. The notice of violation, notice of hearing is Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Okay.
Your name, sir?
Patrick Malloy on behalf of Progress Residential.
And your counsel, correct?
Consultant, not counsel.
Any exhibits that the village would?
I'm familiar, no objection.
No objection, very good.
Zapped through that one. All right, so how much time do you need to cut down your tree?
We had a vendor there today, and it's our understanding from the code officer that the tree does not have to be replaced, it just has to be removed because there's enough other green cover on the property. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it looks that way. You got 2 or 3 big ones.
Yeah, if it's just a removal, we can have it done in 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, you're going to need to apply for a permit, though, just for fun, right? Is a vegetative removal permit requirement? Yes.
Oh, there is a permit? Okay.
It's a no-fee permit.
But
It just has to be, someone's going to go out there and count trees. And given your photograph here, you get trees.
Understood. We just have to
So-
approve the green space cover?
Yeah, so as long as you get your vegetative removal permit, that should be quickie, and then you can just zap it down.
Is that village or county?
Village,
Okay,
much faster than county. County would take weeks,
agreed.
if
Thank
not
you.
months.
quick to get the vegetation removal permit. It
Yeah, I
doesn't
mean,
take a long time.
they're just going to send out someone who's going to count trees, really. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, from a pure days standpoint, since the vendor was there today, we think we could have it out in 15 days. Adding the permit in, I don't know what the permit
We're going
process
to give
is.
you time.
So we were asking for compliance by 5/1 or the 5/14 hearing, but we could bump that out to the day before. That
Yeah,
gives them a little over a
5/13,
month.
5/14.
Yeah, that way, that
Sounds
should be
appro-
enough time.
Sounds appropriate.
13, 5/14,
25.
25. Just keep some notes on your application. The sooner you apply, the better. If they're the ones who are holding you up, I won't hold that against you. If the village is like taking a month to do this permit, it should be a couple of days.
Now that we have the vendor selected, it should be rather quick. I'm
So,
sorry,
yeah.
what was the date for the compliance?
5/13 or the period of the 5/14 hearing.
Okay, 5/13, okay.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
And like I said to everyone in the room, as soon as that tree hits the ground, call for a reinspection.
I missed one on the previous page. If you want to go back to it, that's progress also, or
Don't you have some
we have some at the end, but I
5 minutes? Why don't we
see a
wait to do all?
compliance.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way we can take care of the rest of the folks, and
Thank
you're
you.
going to have to be here to the end anyway.
Same page, 24-1003, 159 Bilbao Street, Ricardo Rodriguez and Nayland Ruby.
Okay. Hello again, Your Honor. Now we're here for yourself.
Yes, sir.
What's your name, sir?
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Got it. Okay.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, this would be Code Section 2318B2C. Description would be parking on both sides of the home. I observed this violation on 12/17/24. Certified mail was mailed out on 12/17/24, and it was posted on 2/24/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, a notice of violation, notice of hearing, an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, a verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, photos.
Same thing as before, these are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of posting for the notice of violation and notice of hearing, the certified mail that came back undeliverable, the notice of violation, notice of hearing for tonight's hearing. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, showing that you own the property. Exhibit 3 is dated photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents being entered?
Nope.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, we'll deal with one side at a time. What's the problem with the RV?
The problem is they're parking on both sides of the home. You're only allowed to park on one side of the home. So
Okay.
there's no problem with the RV. It's just he has a boat on one side and then the RV on the other side.
Please.
That's what we work for.
Yeah.
Right, but, okay, question. I'm here because I have a question about this. I have plenty of space in both sides, but the notice that you left me, it says to park both vehicles on the same sides of the property. Before I have the RV, I only had the boat, and it was parked towards the back of the property a little, and I got a notice saying that I have to put it right next to the house. So right now, if I put both on the same size of the house, one of them is going to be past the back of the house. So that's, and I have plenty of space in both sides. If it has to be parked in just one side, I don't mind doing it, but it's going to do the same thing.
The code defines the side of the home between the front building line and the rear building line. If you're in front of the building, that's considered the front yard. If you're behind, that's the rear yard. So you can only park on one side of your home. So you would have to have enough room to park them side by side if your house is not long enough or deep enough.
Now, if they have a porch on the back of the house, does it go to the end of the porch line?
It has to be like part of your roof. So if you had a big hip roof that included a patio, yes. If you put on a cage, a pool cage, no.
All right,
If you put on a little screen enclosure with a metal roof, no.
But my house has, well, it's,
Adjacent side.
right, my house has a part of the roof that's flat with the patio. Now, I'm just trying to think, is that,
And that's all was built in like that. Yeah.
One
And you went
structure.
into a flat deck. That's different. That's not the same as having like an insulated aluminum roof that they come
Got it.
as an after fact and put
so
on.
if you have a patio on the back that extends beyond the end of your house, you may fit.
I'm pretty sure it fits.
But you're going to have to do some jockeying and doing that, and you have to call them up to to look. You know, here's what I did. I bought my house before I got married, and I bought a big driveway because I'm a guy. So I have more than enough room to park all my stuff. You unfortunately don't have that big driveway. You have to deal with what you have.
Okay, the other question is, in one of those notices, I kind of remember that it says that I either remove the boat or I can park it on the driveway. Am I accurate with that?
Yes. The boat and the RV can both park on the driveway. We
Right.
don't have a restriction to that. It's just you cannot park both sides of your home.
Oh, that's fine.
It's basically to allow the fire department to get around to put out the fire on the other side.
But let me ask you this, can we get to the other picture that you have? Where you see the RV? If I park the boat on the driveway in front of the RV, is that okay?
Yes. You can't block the sidewalk.
No, I
It
will
has
not.
to fit
But
between the sidewalk and the fence or your garage or whatever's there.
I'll park it, I'll figure it out, but
But if you park it on the concrete in front of the RV, you'll be fine.
And the village also has an RV lot that its residents can access that is a very minimal amount of money. I think it's $1.50 per foot of the vehicle. It's basically
Okay.
no money to park one or the other of those in the RV lot that's in the village.
Oh, okay, I didn't know
Lot
that.
is located across from Costco, is that right?
That's correct.
Correct. It's,
I didn't know that, but thank you very much. But,
That's another option, but if you can fit both of them, you can fit both of them.
Certainly can.
All you have to do is,
I will,
pull the
but
one
honestly-
out, put it back there and see if it fits.
I know.
If the tongue of the trailer does not go over the sidewalk, you're golden.
no, but I will remove it and I will put it in place, but it doesn't make sense just to put it in the driveway, having an empty space in the property, but I'll remove it. Can I have a few days, because I'm leaving town tomorrow morning, and I'll be back on Monday, so can I have a few
You're going
days?
to have more than that. You're going to have until May, at the beginning of May, I would think.
No, I'll remove it.
May 29th or June 11th fine hearing or $25 a day fine is what our recommendation
Giving
was.
you more than enough time. 529, 611, is that it?
611 or 25.
Okay.
And if you want to pursue the RV lot, the village clerk's office is the one that you go through
Thank you.
to get
Thank
the
you very much.
application.
Order saying that you have to have this done by May 29th.
Thank you
And
very much.
Just make sure
Your
you get the code officer out there to verify it. And if you get it done next week, just call him. You'll be done.
Honor. Thank you.
All right, you'll get an order in the mail in a week or so, or in a week.
Same page, 25-0113, 947 Hibiscus Drive, Samantha D. and Stephanie C. and Jose Rodriguez.
Too many cars again, huh? Tell us who you are, please.
My name is Ada Barrios. I don't know what I'm not listing on the name, but I'm one of the owners of the property.
It's code section 2318, Korean B3B. The description is parking on the front lawn. I observed the violation on 2/4/25. Certified mail was mailed out on 2/4/25 and returned on 2/7/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, a verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photos.
And our apologies that your name was omitted from the agenda. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, and then the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership from the property appraiser's office showing that you own the property. And Exhibit 3 is a dated photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
No, that's
Okay.
All right, admitted without objection. So it's the red truck.
Yeah, it's just the reason that I came because I can just remove it and call. It's been happening. That was the second time that happened. When we moved to the property, we were parking that truck in the other side, and I guess the case before explained that you cannot put cars in both sides of the property because we have the driveway. You don't see it from that picture, but we have the driveway in the other side. Before I was putting the truck, and it doesn't fit all aligned, and I was touching the grass, and I was told, but it was a different person that was coming. I was told that I can put it, and that was a suggestion that I get, parking in the other side because it's on the side of the house. But then we got, I believe it was November or sometime last year, that they came and said, no, you cannot park it there because it's on the side of the property. I don't really understand why I cannot park it there. They suggest to me to park it inside because right there where the truck is, I got a gate and it's inside of the, like at the part of the, but in that side, I got my dogs and it's really, really difficult to open up. I have to take the dogs from, and I use that car. I have a business in home and I use that car coming in and out every time. I actually can leave it on the nighttime, but you guys don't go and check on nighttime that the car is inside the gate. I'm just trying to see if it's any way that I can, because in the other side, I don't have enough space. I would like to see if I can, it's just flush with the house. You can see it, it's flush with the house, it's totally close to the gate. It's why I came here. If not, I can remove it and just call them up, but I wanted to see if it's possible because it's really inconvenient to have that car in the other side because it's a big truck.
Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of the other side, so I really don't have an opinion of where the replacement parking would be, but that's not a place to park a truck. I mean, you don't park it in the yard.
Inside the yard, no, but that was the suggestion.
Inside the yard, it's, you don't park it there.
That's beside the house.
It's in the front, the side yard. Yeah, it's sticking out, it's in the yard, it's not supposed to be parked
If
there.
I put it flush to the house, can I keep it?
I think it's a corner lot. I don't know.
No, it's not a corner lot. It's not a corner lot. I spoke with her, we had this,
Between the front building line and the rear building line of the house. It can't protrude in front and it can't protrude behind. You can fit it between your fence and move it up more, it'll be fine.
If it's just perfect, if I just touch the gate, if it's perfect. If you guys allow me to do that, it will be flush with the house. I can take a picture and send it to you. I mean, you can go and see it.
You need to make sure that you park it that way all of the time.
Absolutely. If you allow me, I will complain with that. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so why don't we make this May 1st, because this is going to be an easy fix. He's either going to be able
Oh,
to
it
park
can be
it.
tomorrow. It's just moving.
No, I'm just giving you until the 1st, because they have to have dates.
Oh, okay.
5/1/5, what's the 14? And then
$25 a day fine.
$25 a day fine, see if you can park it and see if it fits.
Yeah.
If you can't, you have to do something else with it. But you'll call the code enforcement officer when you do that? so
Absolutely.
he can
I'll
come
move
by
it
and
tonight and I'll call him tomorrow and yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, 5/1/5/14/25 granted.
Thank you.
Okay, hopefully we'll be able to work it out. All right, next.
In the middle, 25-0102, 9930 Belvedere Road, Harbar RPB LLC.
This wasn't turned on, sorry. Code Section 06190BC, 15141, 1571, dead, dying, and missing landscape. I observed this violation on 1/30/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 1/31/25, and it was signed on 2/10/25. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4 is for under permit information.
Your names for the record?
Vic Nareen. Scott Mizrahi.
What was your first, start with the first one.
Vic, V-I-C.
Yep.
Last name's Nareen.
Spell it, please.
N-A-R-I-N-E.
And Scott,
Mizrahi. M-I-Z-R-A-H-I.
and your relations to the LLC?
I'm the district manager for that business. And I'm the store manager.
Thank you.
Okay.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, and the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership from the property appraiser showing who owns the property. Exhibit 3 is dated photographs of the violations. And Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Any objection to these documents? No. Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. I only have 4 cars, so I'm very familiar with the auto parts stores in Royal Palm Beach. You've got the cheaper batteries.
Yeah.
I buy all my batteries from O'Reilly, just so you know. So, yeah, well, you go where the prices are best. And believe me, with 4 cars and a battery that dies every 3 years, you know, because you cycle through them. All right, so we have some dead, dying, missing landscape. There's that one picture of that poor, pitiful planter that looks like it's got 2 clumps of weeds in it growing tall.
He's dead.
Yeah, it's a big toothpick right there. Where's my favorite?
Missing some plants here.
Yeah, planting, that's not my favorite, though. We have one more. Where's the one with the little island thing? There, that's my favorite. Yeah, it looks like no one cared. I could park my Jeep there, I guess. Anyway, so it'd go into the ground, but, all right, so you got a landscaping hiring issue here. You're gonna need some folks to go out there. And do they have a site plan that they have to follow?
Yes, they have a landscape plan, yeah.
So I don't know how much of the acquisition development process you follow, but when they site plan these things, one of the things they do is get a landscaping plan as part of your plan package. And that tells you how big a tree and how big a cover and whatever else. And you need to follow that.
Okay.
Because you do not want to go in there and try to amend that. It's going to take months. And then you have to deal with all that. So you're here, you're trying. We're probably going to go the June date.
529, compliance by 529 or appearance at the 6/11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
All right, so you have until the end of May to go pull a copy of the landscaping plan and try to put back some things. Okay? And if you have issues, you talk to the code officer. She'll try to help you with whatever else it is.
Yeah, I've been in touch
Your
with.
landscaping plan will have the name of the plant, the height of the plant, how far apart they're going to be. You hired some arborist/landscape architect who drew some pretty, they draw all these little canopies and little fluffy things for bushes and stuff. So you just have to follow it. Okay? Otherwise, I'll fire, how much of a fine?
$25 a day.
Or $25 a day. But the good news is, hopefully by the time you get this done at the end of May, the rainy season will kick in and everything will grow like the weeds that are left in that last spot.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Good for you?
Yes. Yes.
All right, 529, 611, 25 is granted.
Thank you.
Bottom of the same page, 25-0131, 123 Meadowlark Drive. Arancy Cordero.
Code sections 2657, a gazebo structure without a permit. I observed this violation on 2/7/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2/10/25, and it was signed on 2/14/25. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Your name for the record? Name, sir?
My name is Noel. Arayansi is my wife.
Your last name,
I'm
sir?
here for her because my kid is sick.
What's your last name?
I have difficult hearing and I don't have the device, sorry.
What's your last name?
Wire. Aguire.
Okay.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the notice of, Exhibit 1 is notice of violation,
Yes.
notice of hearing, the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, showing who owns the property. And Exhibit 3 is a dated photograph of the violation. And Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Any objection to these documents?
No, I submitted the permits several weeks ago. Today I get the approval, I pay the fees, but I don't have it yet, the permit.
The permit's in plan check.
It's in plan check? Good.
Yeah.
It's more time.
Not a problem. 529, 611?
It's $25 a day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you have till the end of May. Just keep on top of them. Make sure they do their jobs. 529, 611, 25 is granted.
Now we're going to page 10, fine mitigation hearings.
Is everyone here on fine mitigations? Do we have anyone who's just a violation or a fine assessment? We got a couple. Let's see if we can knock a couple of them out before we get to those. Who do we have?
We don't know who they are. They didn't sign in. They were
You
late.
are.
1009 State Road 7. Your address?
I actually called for a re-inspection. I think it happened yesterday, but they told me to,
What address?
131 Galliano.
131 Galliano.
Do you know what page you are on?
I don't, no, I'm sorry.
See? All right.
He's on page 5, 131 Galliano.
All right, well, we found him, so let's deal with him.
And so is 1009 State 7.
Oh, everyone's on 5. Excellent.
For anything but fine mitigation.
I have a violation.
Okay. What's your address?
187 San Xavier Street. 9 solves 8. Oh, here we go, page 9, near the bottom. 3 from the bottom. All of you people who are late, raise your right hand, say I do when we're done. Again. Does everyone swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say I do. They do. He did it twice. He's really telling the truth.
We even started 15 minutes late.
Okay.
Did you find it?
Page 7. I got 109. 105, you were the plants in the swale. You moved them, you're in compliance. You're not on the agenda.
Bye. Okay, that was easy.
No, I forgot the address. What was the address?
Fort Granada.
I'm hiding behind my hair. Pick me one.
Page 5, start on page 5. Yeah, it's the second one.
The gas station.
Yeah, third one from the bottom. 25-0188-1009 North State Road 7, 1009 Enterprise LLC.
All right, let's just 11, 12. Let's do the gas station. At least get someone up here.
How do I blow this up?
All right.
I'll do it. You go ahead. I'll do it.
You guys are from 109 West State Road?
Let's go.
More cases to get through today.
Special Magistrate, the code section is 20-604D and 20-41, excessive window signage and prohibited signs. The violation was observed on 2/18/2025, and the notice of violation and the notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 2/19 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation and notice of hearing with the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
You're welcome. Your names for the record, please?
Josh.
And Special Magistrate, did you swear everybody in?
Yes, I did.
Very good. What's your last name, Josh?
Chabria, Chabria.
And what's your relation to the LLC? Are you the owner?
No, I just manage the place.
Manager's fine.
Chabria.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service, the notice of violation for tonight, or excuse me, for the violation.
I don't even know why I'm here because all this was corrected long time ago.
We'll get there.
Okay.
These are just the documents.
Okay.
Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing as well.
Okay.
Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, showing who owns the property.
Okay.
Exhibit 3 is dated photographs of the violation.
Okay.
Dated yesterday. Any objection to these documents?
No, I mean, everything
All
was
right,
fine.
admitted without
Is there
objection.
You can explain to the magistrate now.
Okay. If there's any more things to be corrected, let me know, because whatever violation we got in the beginning was corrected. The food truck and the excessive signs on the windows, those were taken out.
Well, This picture right here was taken yesterday,
Okay.
and all the window signage is still considered excessive. It's greater than 15%. So that hasn't been corrected.
Even on the bottom, like the top ones were removed. The bottom one is just like, it's not even like showing. Bottom one is basically just to cover the ugly spots. That's about it. If I need to remove that, I'll remove the bottom ones too. There's only one, literally only one on the front which advertises the cafeteria inside. That's about it.
It doesn't matter what it's advertising. You're only allowed to have 15% of your glass area covered with signage. That also includes your illuminated signage, which can only be 6 square feet.
Does that include on the bottom too, like the
Yes,
real?
all of your glass area on one plane.
So 15% is like, like if I calculate how many signs, like am I allowed?
You calculate your glass area.
calculation.
Of the area, so according to yesterday's picture, how many more signs need to come out?
Most of them.
You have a lot of signage there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone who has a business wants to put as many signs out there as they can to attract as much business as they can. And unfortunately, the village has decided that you get 15%.
15% total.
Right, so if you have 100 square feet, you're allowed 15 square feet of signage.
Okay, so.
You have to calculate the amount of window space you have and divide it or multiply it times 0.15, and that is how much square footage of advertising you can have.
Okay, so I'll remove.
But no, you're gonna remove what you're gonna remove, then you're gonna call the code officer, and he's gonna go out there, and you all can figure it out if it's good or not.
I'm physically shown what needs to be removed. I'll get it out because.
Yeah, and I think you had also a problem with the car wash sign in the back.
This is not the issue here. Upon reinspection, there was not anybody detailing cars outside, so they complied with that. The additional issue here is that they have the banners, which are prohibited signs. Be happy to show you the rest. That's one. And you have them on the side. Oh, I can show you from previous dates, those signs. So it's been there for a while. They need to be removed and prohibited.
That sign on the side and on the curb has been there for like ages. It was not like something new. It was just faded. We just got a new one, that's all. It's pointing.
Unfortunately, that's not an allowable sign, and you made it nice and noticeable when you replaced it, so, yeah.
In Royal Palm, you're going to need a permit for your window signage and for any signage on your property.
Okay.
It all goes through site plan. It's done, you're allowed certain colors and all of that stuff. So you can't.
So the car wash sign also cannot be there?
That's a banner. Banners are prohibited.
Okay, so is that a special permit that I can apply to have that there, or?
You can't get a permit for a prohibited sign. It's prohibited. You can't have that type of sign. If you want to put up a permanent sign, you can apply for a permit for a permanent sign.
Okay, I'll have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're only going to allow you one sign. You've got signage on your convenience store. You've got signage on the car wash. You've got signage outside, going into the car wash. You got signage leaving the car wash. They're not going to allow you all that signage.
Okay, I'll have the appropriate person apply for the permits for the car wash. And the window signs, I don't need anybody. I'll just get it out tomorrow. I'll clean it up. I don't need a special visit by anybody. I'll just get it out tomorrow.
Whenever you do remove those prohibited signs, give me a call.
Sure.
That way I can go out there.
I'll take your number
So you don't get
before I
into a
leave.
situation where fines are accruing.
Absolutely.
We don't want that.
Not a problem.
Same thing with the banners. If you're going to go through the process to get permanent signage put up, you still need to take this temporary
Will do,
banner,
I
you
got
need
it.
to take that down.
Will do, I got it.
What are we looking at?
5-1 or the June 11th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
5/1, 6/11, 25. All right, you have 3 weeks.
To get the sign out, or what are we talking about?
Signs off and the prohibited signs out.
To get into compliance with the required code sections, that's correct.
I'm not penalized anything, am I?
Not yet.
Gotcha.
So if you don't have the property inspected by May 1st and are cleared, then you have a potential for being fined.
No problem. I'll get that out and I'll schedule whatever needs to be done,
Okay.
right?
All right, 5161125 is granted. Thank you. Okay.
Next one down on the same page, 25-0204, 131 Galliano Street, Ariana Rocco and Joseph Germano.
Special Magistrate, the code section is 6-190H for closed storm shutters. The violation was observed on 2/20/25. The notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 2/20/25, and the green card was received on 2/27. We'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation and notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is a verification of ownership. Exhibit 4 are the pictures, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures. Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
Okay, so this should be easy. What's your name, sir?
Romano, sir.
Thank you. Record Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, and the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property. Exhibit 3, dated photograph of the violation. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
All right, just for fun, I think you're only allowed to put these things up when there's a named storm. It's a lovely security feature, but the fire departments hate ripping those things out to try to save you lives, so. All right, so what are we talking about? Because you can get this done in days, right?
It's done.
It's done?
Yeah, it was inspected yesterday.
Well, okay, so we're all compliant, just a finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Finding of fact is granted, which means you get in trouble if you do this in the next 5 years, so try to stay out of trouble. Not a problem. All right, you'll get an order in the mail. Take care.
But I think your 791, I think, is your prefix.
All right, who do we have left? We got a couple more before we hit,
We're going to,
I thought we had one on 8 or something, whatever, take it, tell me. Page 7?
25-0185, 108 Park Road North, Chandrawadi, Kemraj Chandrawadi, trustee, Kemraj trustee, Samuar et al., trust title holders, Kemraj.
Okay. Who are you, sir?
The son, Omadat Samaru, O-M-A-D-A-T.
Hold on, sorry. The magistrate's got us all out of order here.
It's my fault, I know.
I'm sorry, can you spell it again, sir?
Sure. O-M-A-D-A-T.
Okay.
Same last name, Samaru.
And I'm sorry if I mispronounced that horribly.
That's fine.
He's probably better than most.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, and the signed certified mail.
Special Magistrate, this would be Code Section 622-108.4 for commencing work without permit. I observed the violation on 2/19/25. The certified mail was met out on 2/20/25 and returned on 2/22/25. I would like to omit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos. And Exhibit 4, AS400 permit info.
Sorry, sir. Now we're ready. These are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation, notice of hearing, signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property.
Correct.
Exhibit 3, dated photograph
Correct.
of the violation. And Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. Let's get to the correct picture so I can see what's going on. Or I can just look at this, 108 Park.
Sorry about
that. There we go. What are they doing? Okay, they're probably closing in a patio.
It was a screened-in porch. My parents are living there. I don't live with them, but I am the primary caregiver, and they're getting up there in age, so they were complaining of the rats cutting in through the screens and the heat from it's a single layer of that stuff with the heat coming in, and it's just on and on and on. So we said we're going to mitigate the situation with the rats. Let's enclose it to keep the rats out back there.
Okay, Permits?
I didn't realize that was necessary. I just got that in, so that should be hitting your system pretty soon that I file it, but I'm sure there might be a couple other stuff that I may have missed. I'd be happy to work with you to rectify it.
Okay. All right, what's the village want in terms of timing?
We're asking for compliance by May 29th or the June 11th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine, so that gives him a month and a half to get through the permit process.
29, 6/11, 25. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if it's not hard enough doing permits, doing it all on a computer makes it even more
I know.
fun.
It's just the
But
parents.
you can actually literally come in and do it with the
I
people
did,
in
and
the front.
they were very helpful. I must say, I was really
Yeah.
pleased. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you'll get an order in the mail.
Special Magistrate, do you want that to be a status hearing?
Sure, we'll make it a status fine assessment.
Thank you. It just means if you have trouble, come back and
No problem.
let us know.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Next one down on the same page, 25-0187, 104 Granada Street, Martha Sannon.
This would be code section 15132 for dead palm.
Hit the button.
This would be code section 15132 for dead palm fronds. I observed the violation on 2/19/25. Certified mail was mailed out on 2/20/25 and returned on 2/22/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence, Your Honor. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photos. This will be a finding of fact.
Okay, she got it trimmed.
For the record?
Martha Sanon?
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, and the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing you own the property. And Exhibit 3 is a dated photograph. Any objection to these documents? Thank you.
All right, finding of fact is granted. And you have service via certified green cards. You're good.
I work 4 hours for this, and they already cut. So I wonder if if they should have called me to let me know, okay, it's fixed, you don't have to come to the hearing. Or did I have to?
You have to call them, say, did you confirm it was fixed? And do I have to come to the hearing? And they would have said no.
That's not true, Special Magistrate. We never tell people for due process reasons not to appear at a hearing that they've been legally served for. So it's her decision whether or not to show up. We do not ever tell anyone not to show up at a hearing.
So they say that you can take your chances, but if you have it fixed and they know that you have it fixed, you should be fine.
Because we're still asking you to find her in violation. A finding of fact, although she's not in trouble again, it's still a finding of violation.
Okay.
If the city had so much care for the landscaping, my suggestion, I wonder why they don't take care of it, cut the trees and take care of the grass if they really care.
Because they only have the ability to go onto their property, not onto your property. This is your property. These are your things to maintain. That's all. You don't live in a HOA. This is not.
It's like I live in an HOA, and I hate HOA. That's why I never live in HOA, but I finally have everything. I can even breathe in the community. Everything I did, I have a letter. I forget to take my garbage can, it's a letter. It's everything, it's a letter.
In the big city here.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Going to page 9, case 25-0171, 187 Salcedo Street, Patricia L. and Michael P. Banks.
Code sections 2317, parking on or over the sidewalk. I observed this violation on 22/13/25. Sent out notice of violation with a notice of hearing on 2/14/25. It was returned on 2/18/25. Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Your name, sir, for the record?
Michael Banks.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, as well as the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property.
Sure.
Exhibit 3 is dated photographs of the violation.
Yep.
Any objection to these documents?
None.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection.
Yes.
You have a nice toy there, but it's kind of blocking your cars out.
I figured out that I can park in a city lot now.
Save you a lot of other issues.
I just found out about it tonight.
Yeah, so there's a lot over by Costco. It's pretty easy to get
Yeah,
to.
I'm
And
gonna go check it out.
yeah,
'Cause
the problem
without
is,
it there, we're fine.
yeah, the problem is the white car probably could fit, but the truck is gonna, or the SUV is gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
without the camper there, though, it's clear.
I mean, without a camper, you got like 4 extra spaces then. All right, when we want him to fix this by? This is a 5-1.
$15 or $25 a day fine.
All right, so you've got 2 or 3 weeks to figure out how to deal with this, either that or you can park your car in the swale facing the direction of traffic if you move it every
It's
24
tough right there
hours.
on that corner. People fly right there, man.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a
Believe me.
very bad corner.
Yeah. No, they're all bad corners. And the younger the driver, the more they fly.
Application for the RV lot is online.
I was gonna
or you
come
can
in
to the clerk's
tomorrow.
office.
Yeah.
5-1, 5-14, 25. Just, and remember to call when you get it moved. Either, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and and if you still have the RV there, it's not encroaching. You just have to make sure you call one day when other things aren't over the sidewalk. Just saying.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, now we are left with
Litigation hearings. We're going to start with case 17-0868, 10361 Pippin Lane, Sabrina Florinord.
Special Magistrate, I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is the order assessing fine. Exhibit 3 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
all right, and what's the amount of the fine?
$1,725. Your name, ma'am? Your name?
My name's Sabrina Florinord.
Thank you.
September 17. Dina, I haven't seen that name in a while. Dina, affidavit of compliance on the 8th of November. I was looking at 2017 and thinking $100,000 because it's been 6 years. No, $1,700 bucks.
I've been sick.
All right, so this is a question that I'm going to ask everyone in the room. It's not like a surprise. Why should the fine be reduced? You're the first one, so why should I reduce the fine?
I don't know how you can help me, please, because I cannot pay the whole amount. I don't have it, because I've been sick all the time. I get semi-stroke that time is happened. Somebody parked the car. The car parked. You don't have tag. I don't even know that. I'm at the hospital. I get back home. When I come back, I don't even know I'm inside. I've been sick. I don't really have any money to pay for it.
All right, do you have an amount that you want to pay?
Can I pay $500, please?
Sure. Does the village say?
We were not opposing reduction. I just had a question. Are you trying to sell the property? Why is she trying to get the fine reduced?
Because she doesn't want to pay a whole fine? I don't know.
Just want to make sure she understands the village's policy is you only can come here one time and get mitigation. So if you're not in a position to pay whatever, if there's a reduced amount, if she's not selling the property or she's not refinancing.
Yeah, that's why I asked if she can pay, and you can pay the 500, correct?
Yes, I'm gonna pay 500.
Okay, because if you don't pay the 500, it goes back to 1,700, so
Can I have 60 day?
not a problem at all.
Okay.
500 by, give me a 60-day out date.
6/9.
6/9/25. All right, $500 by 6/9/25, and the fine will be removed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go to is the fourth one down, 23-0762, 10404 Oliver Lane, FKH SFR C1LP.
I'd like to submit the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1 is the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is,
We skipped over. That's not you.
oh, that's not, oh, sorry.
Diaz on behalf of the property owner.
All right, stop right there. Spell your name, please.
Kevin, last name Diaz, Diaz.
An S to me.
My apologies?
Are you an attorney?
I am.
See, I told you look like an S to me. All right, so we have counsel here.
Special Magistrate, I'd like to submit the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1 is the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is the order assessing fine. Exhibit 3 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
Okay.
And the fine amount in this case is $11,725.
All right, so 305 area code, Miami,
Yes, sir.
born and raised, Jackson Memorial. All right, Mr. Diaz, why should the fine be reduced?
Usually I have a full assessment as to when we received the fine, when we hired vendors, or when we notified the tenants, and timelines for everything being taking place, as well as someone, a report of someone that appeared via property management. We don't have any of that for this. Not saying that we didn't receive the initial letters, but at least internally, we don't have many records as to what happened. It was a very large company. I can tell you that we have tenants that occupy the property, and 99% of the time create these issues for us that we try to cure very timely. We would respectfully request that some accommodation be made on this issue if it can potentially be reduced to $1,000. I can tell you that the way we found this out was this year in 2025, because this is a cross-attaching lien on some other assets that we own. So we moved quickly as soon as we found out that this was a problem on our end, and we requested payoff figures as well as submitted this mitigation request.
Okay, and what did the village say?
We're not opposing reduction. I'd like to hear, I think, what did you say, $1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the reason for that amount of reduction is just so you didn't know about the violations, or?
Well, from my understanding in reviewing this, this wasn't a life safety issue. This was garbage bins exposed on the exterior and some debris. Is that what transpired?
It was in miscellaneous items, that's right.
So it's not an issue that I would say is a life safety issue that created either work without a permit or an issue for the community or an issue for the tenants. This is really an issue created by the tenants. And we would ask respectfully if that can be acknowledged and work with us. We also understand that, at least in our history in dealing with local governments, there's a give and take. If the city has zero tolerance to us, then we have to implement zero tolerance on our tenants. We try to give some flexibility and not create too much of a financial burden for them. And we would just ask that everybody work together, please, and enter something that is reduced from this current $11,000 fine for garbage bins.
And the village's position is?
So again, we're not opposing reduction. Based on the facts in this case, we would be willing to reduce it to $4,325.70 payable within 30 days, which would be 5/9.
Mr. Diaz, could you state your first name for the record, please?
Kevin.
And spelled it.
Thank you.
K, which is
Kevin
normal.
with a K.
All right, I'm inclined to go with the village on this one. It's $4,325.70. Do you need more than 30 days?
Can we do 45, please?
We can. 5/9, just make it the end of the month, 5/29. Much close enough.
That's fine for the village. Is that fine for you, 5/29?
That's fine. Question, can the order be emailed to me instead of mailed?
They will email you a courtesy copy of it because they are required to mail these out, I would assume.
That's correct.
It was, and I believe we have some correspondence confirming the hearing date.
You have horrible handwriting.
I have some stories for you.
You have a business card with your email on it?
I don't, but I'll email tomorrow morning.
No, it's one of these.
I sent an email to kdiaz@diazaffiliates.com.
.co.
Yes, that's the, yeah.
Correct. I did receive it. Thank you.
Version is less than stellar.
I've had judges tell me no written orders, so I know.
Oh, that was back in the days when you actually filled out an order that the judge dictated to you in chambers before we had Zoom life. They were. You had to have a personality back then. You got to see your friends in the morning and go out and have a cup of coffee. I saw so many cases being settled after hearings at 8:45s. Now no one talks to anyone. They don't know what you look like until you pop up on a Zoom hearing. All right, thank you very much, sir. Next is...
One down, we're hearing 21-0579, 126 Barcelona Drive, BAF4 LLC.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your name, sir?
Leah, authorized agent.
Related to Justice Scalia? Just had to ask. But are you spelled the same way?
Well, my dad met him twice.
Oh, that's good. Probably long-lost cousins or something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay, Your Honor, I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, an order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance.
And the amount of fine in this case is?
$450.
Okay. You know the question?
Yeah, thanks, Your Honor. So basically the same thing. We're trying to keep every property that's cleaned up. This was just bushes that were overgrown. We got them cut. We're trying to sell all the properties that was cross-attached, and so we're just asking for a fair amount so we can pay it right away on the property that's actually closing.
Okay, so do you have an amount you were proposing?
Got pretty fair to say that we can do maybe 1%, maybe 2,000 and change, 2,100.
So that'd be about 10%. What's the villages say?
We were not opposing reduction in this case. Based on the facts, we'd be willing to reduce to $6,876.36, payable within 30 days, which is 5/9.
It's a lot better than 20K.
It is. Can we go a little bit lower?
All right, 6,500 by 5/9. Make it a nice
Say that again?
$6,500 by 5/9. Okay?
$6,500 by.
Thank you.
You'll get that email to me?
You'll get it in the mail unless you. So we'll email it to you. Thank you. Was it on the fine mitigation request form?
It's on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next case is the next one down, 23-0596, 11686, Oleander Drive, Aylin Perez Abanez, and Daryl Sosa Martinez. Oh, I'm sorry. Page 11, I'm sorry, Special Magistrate. Sorry, sir. You're almost there. 24-0984, Lexington Village, Madison Green, Lexington Village Homeowners Association, Inc.
Number 20 in my program. Tell us who you are.
Jenna Strang, property manager,
And you're going to spell your last name Jenna?
Streng.
I would have made it an A, so good. String. All right, prop magger.
Special Magistrate, I would like to admit the following items into evidence.
Hit the button.
I'd like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine and mitigation request. Exhibit 2, an order setting fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance.
And they finally got you a gate code.
And Special Magistrate, while you're waiting for the papers, the fine amount in this case is $1,675.
All right. The same question I ask everyone.
So I was not aware that this was even an issue until I got the fine notice. I do have emails here between myself and my office and Margaret saying that her clicker wasn't working. We issue clickers to homeowners all day, every day. I think it was a confusion that you have a special clicker that gets you in. My office was saying, you know, bring it in, we'll give you a new one. Did you check the battery? What's the number? It wasn't made clear that we had to program that special clicker to the gate. So as soon as I figured that out, I had it fixed in like 2 days. And from what the gate company told me, if you were on the call box side, it was working, it just wasn't working on the visitor side. But this is going back to 2023, where the last thing was, Margaret, let me know if you're still having issues with the clickers, and she said, we'll do December of 2023. And I didn't hear anything after that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I know everybody says that.
This is not a 23 case, though, right? This is a
Yeah, this is
25
a
case.
24 case.
Right.
And
Our building inspectors have had trouble getting in there, and then it would work, and then it wasn't working. And Margaret wasn't even the code officer who wrote this violation. It was Anthony, sorry.
Right, I never heard
So-
anything from Anthony. I'm just saying this is the last I heard about it.
That was,
yeah, and they're required by Florida law to send it to the address on the tax collector's roll, not to the property management company. So whoever was dealing with this for the
I never received it. As soon as I
Homeowners
got the,
Association never finished passing it on to you because that's who they're required to send it to.
right. So once I got the fine notice, which did come to my office, it was fixed right away.
Okay? So do you have a proposed amount for this fine? Because it wasn't fixed right away before that.
It was fixed as soon as I found out about it.
I know, but
And I have-
you're not answering the question. Do you have a proposed amount?
Oh, honestly, I don't think they should have to pay anything because I didn't
Okay,
know
well-
anything about it, but
If that's your whole argument, that's not real great, because all I do all day long is I sit here and I make sure that people have due process, that they were notified. And their notification was either by a green card or by notices posted at the property. And if they failed to provide it to you, so be it. That's their problem, not the village's. All right, what does the village say?
minimum here says 325, which I
That
think
was the
the board would be
325,
agreeable
which
to.
was the amount of the fine at the hearing where I signed the order, plus continuing until it was cured. The 1,675 represents the amount of days at $25 a day past the 325 when it was finally cured. Okay? So what does the village say?
We're not opposing reduction. We would be willing to reduce it to 1128.30 by 5/9.
All right, 1,100 by 5/9. I can't help it if your clients aren't giving you the notices they get. But you did get some relief on this, so.
It's 1,100? Okay.
Okay. You're welcome. Now we finally, no, we don't.
4-0692, 100 Moorgate Circle, Ernest St. Ange. It's an order. It'll come from the magistrate, but it'll come via the mail.
But I'm not getting any of the mail.
That's because we have to send it by law, right?
No, I understand it, but it could just be emailed as well.
Read that in, sorry. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, letter requesting fine mitigation. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, you've watched a bunch of these go by.
The fine amount is 3,100, Special Magistrate. $3,100 is the fine amount.
And tell them, you
No, no, no,
fixed
no, no.
it,
I mean,
or you didn't get your permit, so.
Name, what's your name,
Yeah,
sir?
it was-
St. Ange.
And were you sworn in, sir?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you, go ahead.
2 or 3, so, okay.
Look, Your Honor, the last time I was here,
You had an excavator
Right,
parked in the
and
backyard, and I gave you more time than
gave
you
me plenty of
needed to
time. Wait a
fix
minute,
it.
wait a minute.
And they were really pissed at me.
He took care of the excavator right away.
no, that was that was not about the excavator. It's the permit for the tree removal. When I left here, I applied on the 24th of December, so that was right after, I left over here. So they'll approve it, way after. So I did my part. I'm trying to say, well, I'm paying, this heavy fine for, which when I know I did my part, it was just on their ball court where they responded way late. I submitted what I was told to submit it. I mean, I'm trying to figure out why I'm paying this big amount of hefty fine for.
Do you have copies of your email?
Say what?
Do you have copies of your email?
Yes, ma'am.
You have them with you?
Yeah, I have it right here.
And so what date did you submit your permit application?
Submitted it, I applied for it on the 24th. And here's the thing, I work out of the county, so a lot of time I will miss out on my email. I don't check my email every day, but the time when I do check, that's when I call Margaret. I'm like, wait a minute, well, I'm not being approved yet. It's just a simple permit. I mean, I'm a GC, I know the lengthy process, but this is just a tree removal permit. So why is it taking that long? And that's when, I reach out to a third party who, manage this kind of permit stuff, and that's when he approved it. I mean, I did my part.
Okay, well,
Does he have a number? I mean, I can give you, we're not opposing reduction,
No,
but what I'm hearing
to
is,
the factual basis of this. You said you applied on the 24th.
I did. I mean, I have a copy for it.
All right,
The date on the application is the 24th.
all right, go.
did you then say that you missed the emails back from the village, that you needed to correct things?
Listen, you guys didn't send me an email. I thought you guys were the one that's, this is my first time going through the permitting process with the village.
Okay.
I assume it will come from you guys, but then I was told it's a third party who kind of handle that stuff.
Right,
for
but
you
I did
guys.
have a email confirmation from Diane on February 11th, asking her about permit information for the hearing. And the status on your permit, 2514, and they were waiting on the homeowner to address comments from the arborist.
Who's Diane?
Diane Burden is our permit tech.
All right, so
You.
they're
and
waiting on you to finish up the permit
calling
because they had comments.
And left a message. So-
You can't have an email account and then tell me I don't check it.
Listen, times are hard, Your Honor.
Times are hard, I understand. I'm not going to tag you for $3,100, but
I'm
you gotta go follow through with these things and not just say, I applied, and never follow up and say, why didn't I get a permit?
This is the first permit that I've ever applied, going with the process.
In Royal Palm?
Right, yes.
Have you applied for permits other places?
I mean, county permit.
Because you have an excavator and you got to do these things. Yes, we understand that, but you didn't follow through on this one. So what do you think the fine should be?
I'm a fair man, and I know you are. And, time is very hard right now. Work is very slow. I'm willing to pay 10% of that.
All right, that'd be $310. All right, what does the village say?
Opposing reduction, we'd be willing to reduce it to $1,547.10 by 5/9.
Okay, so you say 10%, they're saying basically 50.
That's a lot. I mean,
this is just a statement. They're saying one, they're saying the other.
What do you say, Your Honor?
That's what I get to say. All right. What's 25% of this?
Well, half of that, so 750.
750-ish? 750.
by 5.9.
$750 by 5.9. If you don't pay it, it goes back to the 3,100. Consider this.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You got to follow through. You
I
just
mean, I
can't
did
sit
my
there
part.
and
I
go,
applied
oh, I
on
don't have it.
24th,
If you
right
would have
after.
followed through, you wouldn't have had zero.
I mean, how is my fault when I applied for it on the 24th? That's what I'm
Because you
saying.
did not follow through by answering the email that
And you
asked for
guys don't even handle
comments.
the permit. I mean, it goes to a third party.
It's the third party is a vendor that just does the filing.
You guys just find a way to look and get paid from the homeowners. I'm being honest.
No, you need to
man.
understand, the permit
that's
comes
just
into the
bogus.
village. We send it out to an arborist for review. He sends it back to us once it's approved, and then we would print it and send it to you. You did get it from Diane. So, but the comments come from the arborist, and you have to answer those comments. And they were probably referring to, they needed something, your application wasn't complete. What did
And you ignored it.
you answer it at some point because you got your permit?
Yeah, because I kept asking why it wasn't improved yet. That's
Right,
why.
and so what was it that was lacking?
What did you supplement? What did you fix?
Asking you the question, I don't know, I can't see it. You have the permit.
What were you missing? You fixed it.
Nothing.
Well, then obviously that you don't care about it, so we're done. 750 by 5.9.
And now we're going back to page 10, 21-0056, 127 Alcazar Street, Progress Residential Borrower 12 LLC.
Hi, Patrick Malloy, on behalf of Progress. Quick question, do you want to go back to the violation first? I found another one on page 2, which is 216 Cordoba Circle.
It's a different inspector, so let's do the mitigations.
Okay. So we'll just do all these.
And
Well,
let
first
me
of all-
just read them out. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Since there are a bunch, let me just read them all in, because I'm sure that's going to be part of your discussion. So I'll get them all in the record, and then I believe the magistrate will rule individually, but let's get them all in there now. So the first case that I just read, Special Magistrate, the fine amount is $27,200. That's for case 21-0056. The next case is 22-0021, 127 Alcazar Street, Progress Residential Borrower 12 LLC. The fine amount in that case is $24,325. 23-0596, 11686 Oleander Drive, Aylin Perez Ibanez and Daniel Sosa. Fine amount is $9,425. 23-0976, 156 Cordoba Circle, Progress Residential Borrower 1 LLC. The fine amount is $7,900.
No, there are also 23-596? That's a progress case or no? Because I have Ellen Perez Ibanez and Daryl Sosa Martinez.
I read that one.
Is that one of theirs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's,
Because I have typed the wrong names typed on the agenda.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
it is a Progress Residential.
All right, let's take these sequentially, I guess. We'll start at the top. 127 Alcazar.
Can the code officer get his
get
evidence
your
in, and
stuff in.
it can be the same for each case that I've read.
Special Magistrate Exhibit 1 is the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is the order assessing fine. Exhibit 3 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
All right, is that the same for all four of these?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And we get to 21-56, 127 Alcazar, the disabled vehicle, 27,200.
And thanks, everyone. Well, first of all, I'm happy to say that this set of cases cleans out the backlog for our properties in Royal Palm. And just for consideration to understand the scope of the research that we did, we discovered these doing lien searches on all of the LLCs that have ownership. I'm happy to enter this in if you'd like to see it. But there are 120 different LLCs that we did lien searches on to find these, to make sure that we could clean out any backlogs of cases.
All right, admitted without objection, go ahead.
just to understand the scope of the compliance enterprise undertaking that we've gone through. So we're very confident that this is the last batch of anything that goes back past certainly 24, and I think we're into maintaining compliance in 25 right now. And I would say also just compliment to the staff. They've been very firm about compliance, but they've also been reasonable and professional. As a part of our compliance going forward, we hired a field staff, Mike Seidenfeld, who I think the code enforcement officers have gotten to know very well on a full-time basis. And we finally figured out a methodology of staying current as well, because one of the challenges that we have is when you put courtesy notices on the door, we don't get them, especially for tenant violations, where the tenant is, and all of these except for one, the permit, are tenant violations. We find them after the fact. And it's been a challenge. You can't accept an email notification from us, which is what we proposed, but sometimes the most simple is right under your nose, and we figured it out in this process. We currently have staff reviewing your monthly agenda for violation notices so that we can capture them.
Good practical move.
It's the only thing that we figured out that works inside your format, because you don't have a rental registration program here in Royal Palm as some other municipalities do. So we don't get notices of the violation. So anyway, just to try and sum this up, we've done the analysis, we've done the lien search, we've invested a tremendous amount of time and money and effort to put in a compliance format so that we can go forward after this batch is over and stay current, and confidently so, because now we have a methodology of looking at your monthly agenda. As it relates to this case, 21-0056, this is a resident violation for a disabled vehicle. One of the challenges that we have with these resident violations is really when the resident doesn't follow through, one of our only final courses of action is either to self-perform and bill them, or go through the eviction process. That's something we prefer not to do. And we believe that now, looking at your monthly violations and knowing these aren't accruing in the background, we can do more resident education and get more current compliance and get ahead of the curve. But again, this was a resident violation. And we would request whatever the city or village believes is a reasonable mitigation.
All right. What is the village's position with regards to 2156?
We're not opposing reduction. We'd be willing to reduce it to $8,908.64 payable by 5/9.
All right. 890-864 by, can you do this in 30 days, or is this a 60-day thing?
No,
I don't want it to slip and for you to go back to the 22. So if you want 45, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay, let's do 45, just to be
I just
sure.
want to make sure that, because you got 4 of these, let's just make sure everything works out by.
Either way, Special Magistrate 529 or 69, either way.
I'll go 6-9. If he's going to do it in 30, this just gives him more cushion.
But my paper even more.
Well, it's not a meeting without me messing up your paperwork.
What's going on to these orders? Thank you, sir.
All right, so we get down to the next one, 22-21. This is yours, expired building permit.
My understanding of the fact pattern here is that there was an emergency replacement of an air conditioning unit. And although the invoices that we have indicate that we paid the permitting fee to the vendor, Air Sharks, they didn't call to have the permit closed. So we found the violation. We reopened the permit. We requested an inspection and now have closed the permit and gotten in compliance.
Okay. All right, so they did apply for a permit, they just never got it inspected. Gotcha. All right, do you have a proposed amount on this, or are we just?
progress?
Yeah.
We would request the ability to pay 20% of the outstanding fine, if that's
Okay.
acceptable to the village.
What does the village say?
Proposing reduction in this case, we'd be willing to reduce the fine down to $8,149.06 payable by 6/9.
All right, so they're basically proposing 5,000.
I hear that. The only reason, well, not the only reason, but the reason for our recommendation is the number of cases on these
Gotcha,
agendas.
okay.
This is a repeat offender, as you know, so, the gravity of the violation is not much,
You don't have to
but
sing to the choir here. I live diagonally across the street from a Progress residential home where they let the landowner not maintain the yard forever. And thank God I saw multiple vehicles in that property while they fixed up the mess that the last tenant left, and I saw a lovely vendor out there mowing the grass. So, yeah, now you're doing good, but before you weren't. So I'm going to go with the $8,149.06 on this one by 6/9. All right, we get down to 23-596. That's $4,925 for sideway drive walk stain, planting areas overgrown. And this is one of the other ones where probably the tenant was supposed to do these things, but, relying on the tenant to pressure clean is a little bit far. Getting him to mow the grass is hard enough. So
We've experienced that on these properties, obviously. Again, sidewalk, driveway stain, planting areas overgrown, tenant responsibility clearly is outlined in the lease. We give the tenants the option to allow us to do the maintenance to the property. This tenant refused, wanted to retain because they wanted to be able to self-perform, which they did not do, obviously. Again, on this one, we would definitely like to request on a 20% basis.
all right, that would be $1,000. 20%? Yeah, that'd be about $1,000. And what does the village say?
we are not, again, opposing reduction, but given the number of cases, we would be amenable to reducing it to $2647.70 payable by 6/9.
All right. Because of the prior history, I'm more likely to go with the village. After this, though, with your hopefully system in place, we will do better. But right now, it's not even, you're the fresh face.
No, I understand.
There used to be a series of faces in here, and when we had some more contact with these people, things would work much better. I remember a particularly nice blonde lady who used to take care of things. But the problem became once a manager type would move on, the next one would not be competent enough. So
Understood.
2,400 or 647.70 by 529.
Or 6/9.
By 6/9, just to be consistent, yeah. All right, and the last one, sidewalk driveway stain. See, I do my sidewalk and driveway, and I'm a corner lot with a double wide circular, and I also do my fence. Andrew can tell you. Do a good job on
It's
that.
an excellent job.
So you're going to be at a 1,600 approximately. What's the village at?
We're not opposed to mitigation. Our number would be $3,132.70 payable by 6/9, again, given the number of cases. But that's not to discredit what you've said at not only this hearing, but the prior hearing about efforts that you've taken. So don't let my recommendation signify otherwise.
All right, 3132 point what?
70,
70?
payable by 6/9.
3132.70 by 6/9. Hopefully, the only thing we'll get to you is our violation hearings, where we'll give you ample time to correct, and you will fix these things, and we won't have these issues ever again.
Again, compliments to the staff. They've been firm but professional.
And I like because, we know these things spread out, so I'm just surprised you've got property owner 1 through 13 as a name from the Department of Corporations. I mean, you would think someone would have grabbed one of those first.
Transaction attorneys get very creative, Your Honor.
But that's what someone said during lunch. Property owner number 1. Yeah, we'll do that.
Probably at the closing. Do we want to go back to the open violation on 216
Yes, we do.
Cordova?
All right, we have one left on page 2, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Second in.
All right.
Correct, code officer, hold on one second. 24-1001. Page 2, second one down.
I'm confused because Anthony's saying she's here for 1168608.
She said she was listening. She said she was the previous owner of the home, and she just was.
Huh? It wasn't a previous owner of any property.
You told us that you sold the property.
Well, either
Okay,
way, she's
we
not
can-
him, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I'm just asking because that's the case that we already heard, so
Oh.
just trying to figure out.
I have that, I can confirm that we have that address in our portfolio list of assets for Royal Palm Beach.
That same address. So do you have this case, 24-1001?
I'm on 156 Cordova Circle.
No.
In Cordova.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me get that.
You read in the record.
Should be code section 0619085. Description would be the driveway and sidewalk stained. I observed the violation on 12/16/24. The certified mail was mailed out on 12/16/24 and returned on 12/23/24. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, an order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photos.
No objection.
No objection. Okay. All right, so just another one to put on your vendor list to have fixed. Rocky Cook. Name on the green card. I was like, Rocky Cook. Okay, Rocky. Oh, great. So we're supposed to have this completed by March 27th, so we aren't going to run up that much.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have said this is a fine assessment hearing. I forgot to announce that.
All right, so is this like $325 or something?
Out of compliance for 13 days at $25 a day, so we're asking for a fine of $325 and continuing.
All right. Yeah, just get this one knocked out and call the second, when the water's still dripping, have them call you.
We have mobilized a crew to do, because we've noticed a pattern of sidewalks and driveways.
Yeah,
So we're not going to rely on the tenants to do this one. We're going to.
Yeah, the tenants really, you can get some who mow yards. You can get, there are yard, my wife says there are yard people and not yard people, and that is so true. And even a tenant who's a yard person will keep it up, but others, even owners that aren't yard people won't, so.
But I can say practically, sorry to interrupt, I can say practically one of the issues has been doing the driveways without the tenant's participation. Sometimes a crew arrives and there are cars parked in the driveway.
Yeah.
So you can't finish the job.
You can get most of it done, or what you can get done, you can get done. And then you can come to me and say, hey, we're doing what we can. We've done 3/4 of it. There were cars parked here. We couldn't get to the tenants, and then I'll give you more time. That's I appreciate people who show up. I appreciate people who try. That's all I'm trying for in code enforcement world, is get things to the point where someone can try to do things and get it done. They'd rather have compliance than fines. I have other jurisdictions, or I've seen other jurisdictions that don't believe that. This is not one of them.
We get it.
Thank you so much, sir.
On that one, you were
That was
good?
fine. It's finding a service by posting. Oh, and, yeah, posting on that one. Or is that Rocky?
That might have been Rocky. I think you did say the name of the signed green card. Thank
Signed
you.
green card. Thank you very much, sir.
What was the conclusion on that?
325 plus continuing, but you'll be able to knock it out hopefully in the next week or so, and it'll stop the fine.
And we'll stop the run. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you. And ma'am, you are with, we're trying to figure you out.
I happened to be here by mistake. What happened is that I've been living in the city, in the village, for a few years, and I wanted to get involved. So I came last month, and they told me that I could come to any meeting that I feel.
Oh, no, you can come and sit.
I wasn't supposed to be here, but I enjoyed it a lot.
You can be here.
And there was this guy in the back, and he's had,
I wasn't supposed to be here.
no, you can come, this is all public. You can come here and sit on your phone and surf the web if you want. Now, I had a guy who showed up at a meeting in Clewiston, and he refused to raise his hand and be sworn in. He had a baseball cap on, and he's like looking down the whole time. I'm like, who is that dude? He's a brand-new commissioner. He just wanted to see what was going on. All right, so you're not in trouble. Everyone's good. Can we have 2 minutes to go to the restroom?
5 minutes, please.
Yes, we would
Yes.
love 5 minutes.
And it's funny because one of the properties in question, and there was a confusion. I'm a realtor, and I saw that property, so I was confused. Why is that property here? My parents were not owning any money, so.
Yeah,
But thank you so much.
thank you. gavel. First time in years.
Thank you.
No, he doesn't make noise. All right, case number 24-981. Let's rock through
Sir, this
them.
is a fine assessment hearing, 24-0981, 122 Spanish Pine Terrace, Ricard R. Evans.
I'd like to submit the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1, the order finding violation with affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
The jungle in the middle of Royal Palm. How do you have service? You have I have them all. All right, you have posting service for this case. What would you like?
It's out of compliance with the right-of-way permit still, and
It's been out of compliance for 41 days at $50 a day, so a fine of $2,050 and continuing until compliance is achieved.
2050 plus continuing is granted. Service via posting. Next.
0982, 122 Spanish Pine Terrace, Ricard R. Evans.
I'd like to submit the following documents to evidence. Exhibit 1 is the order finding violation. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
All right, you have service via posting because he's not picking up his Royal Palm mail no more. All right, what would you like on this one?
This one, the code section 15141 is, I'm sorry, that's the only one that's out of compliance. The remainder of those sections listed, your order will say that they are to continue to comply. They've come into compliance.
What is 14141?
It is the dead palm, correct?
Okay.
Prongs, 15-141.
So we're asking for a fine of $3,075 and continuing.
5 plus continuing. Okay, granted.
4-00995, 142 Santiago Street, Armide, C. Bastien.
I'd like to submit the following documents to evidence. Exhibit 1 is the order finding violation. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Hedge, you have service via signed green card. What would you like? Oh, and on the other side of the driveway.
Compliance for 8 days at $25 a day, so 200 and continuing.
200 plus continuing is granted. Next.
0970, 215 Bilbao Street, Boris E. and Ivan Lopez.
Hola. This would be code section 0619885. Description sidewalk and driveway stained. Your Honor, I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, an order finding violation and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, a verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photos.
I love the deer in the front yard. Service via posting. What would you like?
I read this on top, but then I said evidence.
This one has been out of compliance for 13 days at $25, so $325 and continuing.
325 plus continuing is granted.
24-0938, 146 Sparrow Drive, Calvin and Jason Bentley.
Not that tall. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Service via posting, finding a fact.
This one was out of compliance for 6 days, so 150 and not continuing.
150, no continuing is granted.
24-1007, 2595 Lakeview Drive West, Casa Royale HOA, Inc.
Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
All right, service via posting, what would you like?
This one's been out of compliance for 13 days, so $325 and continuing.
Thank you.
25-0017, 198 Sparrow Drive, number A, Maramy and Robert Bazin.
I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 has 400 permit information. And Exhibit 4 is the report from the sprinkler service.
Okay, you have service via posting, what would you like?
This one's been out of compliance for 13 days at $150 a day, so we're asking for $1950 and continuing.
150 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Violation hearings, 25-0008, 1116 Grandview Circle, Bertina Elsine and Garentia R. Bovar.
What?
Special Magistrate, the code section is 2-75.27, changing the paint color. Oh, I'm reading the wrong one. This is 116
Yes.
Grandview.
I'm having trouble finding that one. We're changing issue. The next one. $11.60.
Can find it.
No, I don't know where the heck it is.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry about that, Special Magistrate.
Not a problem. Now we're just all straightened out.
It's code section 14-2 and 6-190A15, miscellaneous items, stained structure, and sidewalk. I observed the violation on 1/2/25. The notice of violation was sent certified mail on 1/3/25 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents as evidence: the notice of violation, notice of hearing with the affidavit of service. The verification is Exhibit 1. Verification of ownership is Exhibit 2, and verification and pictures are Exhibit 3.
All right, service via posting, what would you like?
Compliance by May 1st or appearance at the June 11th fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted. 5161125, granted.
040-11378 Okeechobee Boulevard, 11378 Okeechobee Boulevard, LLC.
Code section is 2-75.27, changing the paint color of the building without planning and zoning approval. The violation was observed on 1/14/25. The notice of violation was sent certified mail along with a notice of hearing on 1/15 and returned on 1/17. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the notice of is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures. Exhibit 4 is the approval from planning and zoning. Exhibit 5 is the affidavit of compliance.
All right, service via signed green card, finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
25-0050106 Spanish Pine Terrace, Benjamin J. Perez and Karina Diaz.
The code section is 15-144, artificial turf without a permit. I observed the violation on 1/21/25. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 1/22 and returned on 1/28. We'd like to submit the following documents to evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures, and Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
Microplastics. Yes. You have a signed green card, you have service. What would you like?
Finding of fact.
Finding of fact is granted.
25-0052 122 Santiago Street, Maria Ruiz.
The code sections are 15-132, 14-4A, 6-190H, 14-2, 6-135, 15-142, 26-57, bare spots on the wall, disabled vehicle, closed storm shutters, miscellaneous items, house numbers not posted on the structure, bare spots in the front yard, shed without a permit. I observed the violation on 1/21/25. The notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 1/22 and was returned on 1/29. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
This is a law school exam. They tried to shove as many issues at you as you can so you can identify.
I ran out of breath reading it, Special Magistrate.
It's like, this is a code enforcement exam. It's like, how many violations can you find? And it's like the prettiest car is the one that's not registered. Signed green card equals service. What would you like?
114-4A and 2657, which is the disabled vehicle and the shed, right? Without a permit?
Yes, 14-4A.
2657 is a shed?
Yes.
Yeah, those two are findings of fact. And then for the remaining code sections, we're asking for compliance by 5.1 or 5.14 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Okay, 5.1, 5.14, 25, except on 14.4A and 26.57. Is that
Correct.
right?
Yes, sir.
Look at me. Granted.
Thank you.
Special Magistrate.
25-0056, 124 Santiago Street, Julius A. and Berniva E. Nabar.
Code Section 26-57 and 9-4, fence and disrepair, shed without a permit. I observed the violation on 12125. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 122 and returned on 124. Would like to submit the following documents into evidence. The notice of violation, notice of hearing is Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures. And Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
Sign green card equals service, finding of fact.
Yes, sir.
Granted.
25-0075, 10230 Rhythm Circle, Michael C. Hudson.
Section 6-190A135, stained structure, stained drippage, stained sidewalk, and driveway apron. I observed the violation on 12425. The notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 124 and posted. Would like to submit the following documents into evidence. Notice of violation, notice of hearing with an affidavit of service is Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
All right, service via posting, what would you like?
Compliance by 5.1 or the 6.11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0080, 126 Ponce de Leon Street, Danielle M. and Joyce C. Bowman.
Code Section 6-190H, closed storm shutters. I observed this violation on 12725. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 12725 and returned on 2/4. Would like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Sign green card equals service. I guess people like living in the dark. What would you like?
5.1 or the 5.14 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
5.1425 granted.
25-0082, 106 Emerald Court, Eunice V. Graham.
Code Section 15-141, 6190A135, dead palm fronds, stained sidewalk, driveway apron, concrete deck, and gutters are stained. I observed the violation on 12725. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 128 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing with the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Service via posting, what would you like?
Case sections 15-141 and 06-190A3, which is the dead palm fronds and the driveway apron, are findings of fact. The remaining code section 06-190A and 1 and 5, compliance by 5.1 or the 6.11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
5.1, 6.11, 25 is granted on everything but the fronds and the driveway apron.
Thank you. 25-0083, 292 Ponce de Leon Street, Gloria F. Farley.
Code Section 6-190H and 14-2, closed storm shutters and miscellaneous items. I observed this violation on 12725. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 128 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing with an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Okay, we have a theme, shutters. You have service via posting, what would you like?
Compliance by 5.1 or the 6.11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0084, 1399 Thornbank Lane, David A. and Cynthia G. Suarez.
Code Section 6-190A 3.5, 14.2, and 12.4C. Stained driveway, driveway apron, and sidewalk, miscellaneous items, garbage can not screened to code. I observed the violation on 12725. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent on 12825 and posted. Would like to submit the following documents into evidence. The notice of violation, notice of hearing with the affidavit of service is Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
All right, you have service via posting. Did they fix the stained driveways or no?
They fixed the driveway apron and sidewalk, which is subpart 5, and they fixed 12.4C.
And which was the 124C, the garbage?
Yes, sir. So those are findings of fact for 06190A3 and 142. We're asking for compliance by 5-1 or the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
All right, finding of fact on 6190A5 and 124C. The rest of it is how, what dates?
5-1, 611, 25.
Granted.
Thank you. 25-0086 is being pulled. 25-0088, 1426 Ryan Lane, Eduardo H. Zazzarini.
Code Section 15-142, 15-132, 23-18B1A, and 15-141. Bare spots in the front yard and swell, prohibited vehicle, tree stump in the yard. I observed the violation on 12725. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 12825 and posted. Would like to submit the following documents into evidence. Notice of violation, notice of hearing with affidavit of service is Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Okay, service via posting. You can tell that vehicle's been parked there forever because it has its own driveway. Ruts to it. So what would you like?
Compliance by 5-1 or the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0089-1130 Grand Duke Way, Gretchen A. and Sean M. Previtt.
Code Section 9-4, 14-4A, and 12-4C, fence in disrepair, disabled vehicle, garbage can not screened to code. I observed the violation on 12725. The notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 12825 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation and notice of hearing with affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures, and Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
Service via posting. I guess you finally convinced them to put it behind the gate where they had it in front of. So finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
25-0129-10162 Yeoman Lane, Robert J. Mellis.
Code Section 6-190A135 and 15-141, stained structure, driveway, walkway, sidewalk, and driveway apron, and they also have a dead palm tree. I observed the violation on 20725. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 22725 and posted. Would like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing with the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
All right, service via posting. What would you like?
Compliance by 5-1 or the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
5-0150-104 Brookwood Avenue, Marie L. Rabel and Maxime A. Cologne.
The code section are 6-190A35, 15-141, 9-4, and 12-4C. Stained sidewalk, stained driveway, stained driveway apron, dead palm fronds, fence in disrepair, garbage can not screened to code. I observed the violation on 21025. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 210 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing with the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
One of your pictures came out a little weird, but okay.
Huh?
Yeah, the one on the full house one looks kind of a weird perspective angle on it, like it's been compressed or something. You have service via posting. What would you like? 51611? 25?
Yeah, 5-1-6-11-25, please.
Granted.
25-0159-103 Oxford Court, Carol Y. Espada.
Code section 6-190A1 and 12-4C. Excuse me. Code section 6-190A35, excuse me, Special Magistrate, 15-141 and 12-4C, stained sidewalk, stained driveway, and stained driveway apron, dead palm fronds, garbage can not screened to code. I observed the violation on 21325. The violation and hearing notice was sent out on 21425 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents as evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation, notice of hearing with the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is a verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Granted. 5161125?
Yes.
Granted.
25-0205, 134 Galliano Street, Adeline, Pierre.
Code Section 6-190A1 and 12-4C, stain drip edge, garbage can not screened code. Violation on 2/20/25. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent on 2/20/25 and returned with the green card 3/5/25. Would like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Okay. Signed green card equals service. What's your pleasure?
5-1 or the 514 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
51425 granted.
5-0221, 137 Ponce de Leon Street, Paul and Julie Burkholder.
Code Section 6-190A35, 23-18B3, and 23-16, stained sidewalk and driveway, RV parked in the swell. I observed the violation on 2/24/25. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 2/24/25. The green card was returned and signed on 2/26/25. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures, and Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
Finding of fact is granted.
25-0112, 1101 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, LLC. (1101 Royal Palm Beach).
Okay, Your Honor. This is Code Section 06-190A15, 6-195, 12-54, 15-141, 23-49 paren A, 14B, and 16-17, 2161G. And I observed the violation on 2/3/25. Certified mail was mailed out on 2/4/25 and returned back on 2/10/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photos.
All right, it took me a minute to figure out which one this was. It's a CVS store. You have a signed green card, so you have service. What would you like?
Your Honor, I would like to add, as far as my code sections go, there would be 1557. I did this one already.
Did you do that one?
I did the 2349.
You got a 1557.
1557, 15141. And 2092, 2141, 2142, and 2143.
20-143.
-143. I apologize.
I followed it.
I apologize. I'm saying it all together.
She just didn't have it in hers. It was
20-143. It's a lot of codes, a lot of.
That's a lot of stuff. Yes, that's the CVS store. It's needing some love.
Yes, I did the exhibit, yes.
All right, so you have a signed green card. What since you had a whole cover letter on this one, what would you like?
There's another one coming like that, so just stay tuned.
Not a problem. Give me some dates.
We're asking for compliance by 529 or the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted, all that just for $25. Not a bad deal.
25-0155, 153 Cordoba Circle, Diane S. Thomas.
Your Honor, this would be code section 06-190A15. Description will be driveway and sidewalk stained. I observed the violation on 2/13/25. Certified mail was mailed out on 2/14/25 and returned on 2/19/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photos.
Green card equals service. What would you like?
And Special Magistrate, we need to add, the agenda is missing the 1. It should be 06190A 1 and 5.
A1 and 5. Okay, made the correction. What would you like? Granted.
25-0157, 158 Cordoba Circle, Ricardo Espinosa.
Your Honor, this would be code section 06-190A5. The sidewalk is in disrepair. The certified mail was met on 2/13/25, and the property was posted on 3/14/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos. And Exhibit 4, AS400 permit info.
Who owns the sidewalk? Is that a village thing? Here's my question, because I walk the dog around the block, and you can see the village will bring in their machine to grade down these steps that are not matching. So
I know where you're getting with this. So this is something that was turned over to us, I believe, by Public Works.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of equipment that was riding over the sidewalk that broke it.
So it was damage done by the property owner to your...
Typically, if a sidewalk is cracked or broken, the village will replace it, but not when it's caused because someone's doing pavers in the back or doing a pool
Whatever
or
they did
that type of
destroyed
thing,
this.
yes.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's
So
the
Public
question.
Works blocked it off with the barricades that are now laying down. We need to make sure they know that. And then, turned it over to us.
Gotcha. Okay, it's sort of like a trespass and, what's a proper legal term for damage? Just trespass and nuisance? Negligence? Probably a negligence.
I think the guy who lives across the street had
The
his
guy
RV over
across the
there or
street, he
something.
owns this property, he owns both properties, and he said he was going to come in and pull a permit, but
Well, we'll see if this motivates. What are the dates?
Compliance by 529 or the 6/11 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0183, 146 Park Road North, Amoy A. Mitchell and Venchis E. Simpson.
this would be code section 06-190A1. The structure is not clean. I observed the violation on 2/19/25. Certified mail was mailed out on 2/20/25 and returned on 2/22/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos.
You have a signed green card for service. Okay. What would you like?
529 or the 6/11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0203, 843 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, Yadami Pilatos.
Your Honor, this is code section 2318B3B. Excuse me, 23-18B3B. The description was parking on the front lawn. I observed the violation on 2/20/25, and the certified mail was mailed out on 2/20/25. The property was also posted on 3/21/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and also an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, photos.
All right, service via posting, you have a van on the side of the yard, in the front yard, actually.
We're asking for compliance by 529 or appearance at the 6/11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0231, 112 Granada Street, 2018 to IH Borrower LLP. No, LP, I'm sorry.
This would be code section 12-4C, garbage can not screened from public view. I observed the violation on 2/26/25. Certified mail was mailed out on 2/26/25 and returned on 3/3/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence: a notice of violation, notice of hearing. That would be Exhibit 1, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, photos.
All right, everyone's got a lot of yellow in these pictures. What would you like? You have service via signed green card.
By 529 or appearance at the 6/11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0246, the little correction on the agenda, this should be 1201-1 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, Selleck Hill Land.
Okay. This is the other letter.
Yes. Your Honor, this would be code section 06190, 06-190A1 and 5, 6-195, 26-61G2, 12-54, 15-40 D3, 23-49A14, 23-49B17, 17-12 Pareen A. As far as we would like a finding of fact on the 14-2 and the 15-57 on this. And I would also like to admit the following items into evidence: notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, photos.
All right, signed green card, nice long letter. What would you like?
As he said, code sections 14.2 and 1557, which is the miscellaneous items and the high grass and weeds, are findings of fact. For the remaining code sections, compliance by 529 or appearance at the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
All right, I was circling things. Could you repeat that, please?
14-2 and
Oh, no, just the
1559,
dates. I got those. I got,
611, 25.
got it, okay. Yeah, I was circling the high grass and the weeds because I had the 14.2 and the 1557, so I had some sort of reference. All right, granted.
Thank you. 24-0708, 1271 North State Road 7, NNNREITLP.
Margaret Stack.
Code section 15-141, 1571, 2349, 814, 06195. Dead, dying, missing vegetation throughout property. Striping and stops are faded and weathered. Parking area, faded in the parking area. Sorry, light missing on the side of the buildings. I observed this violation on 8/29/24. Sent out notice of violation on 8/29/24. Got that returned on 9/3/24. Sent out notice of hearing on 2/20/25. They received that on 2/24/25. Following documents into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation; Exhibit 2, notice of hearing; Exhibit 3, verification of ownership; Exhibit 4, pictures; Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
All right, signed green card equals service. Took me forever to figure it out. It was Ruby Tuesday. All right, what would you like with this one?
Compliance by 529 or appearance at the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0024, 10577 Fascination Lane, Asher Pearl.
06190-835, 124C. Sidewalk and driveway are stained, garbage can in public view. I observed this violation on 1/7/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 1/8/25, and posted to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation, affidavit of service; Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service; Exhibit 3, verification of ownership; Exhibit 4, pictures; Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Service via posting, finding of fact is granted. I was just wondering if they had an electric cord running out of the window.
Yeah, it's plugged in the car.
25-0092, 109 Malaga Street, Sean and Brittany N. Karames.
Code section 06190-835 and H, 2318B1 and 14.2. Sidewalk and driveway are stained, and the driveway is not uniform in color. Shutters on the windows, prohibited vehicles, miscellaneous items in public view. I observed this violation on 1/28/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 1/29/25, and they received that on 1/31/25. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing; Exhibit 2, verification of ownership; Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, well, you know, those pool chemicals eat up everything. You look at the back of a pickup truck with those, it's like it's usually rotted out. All right, you have service via posting. What would you like?
Code Section 06190A5, which is the sidewalk stained, and 14.2, which is miscellaneous items, is a finding of fact. For the remaining code sections, compliance by 529 or the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
25-0096, 199 Bob White Road, William R. Bartslager Jr.
Code Section 06190D and 1557. Planted areas are not maintained, high grass and weeds along fence. Observe the violation on 12825, send out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 12925, posted it to the property. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, it took me a minute to find it. It was out of order, but you have an affidavit of service.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry.
It was just one down instead. Finding of fact granted.
Thank you.
25-0103, 9950 Belvedere Road, Murphy Oil USA, Inc.
Code Sections 2041, banner and signs on poles and building are prohibited. I observe the violation on 13025, send out notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified mail on 13125. They got that on 21025. Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, signed green card equals service.
Compliance by 5-1 or the 514 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
5-1, 5-14, 25 is granted.
Thank you.
25-0107, 153 Sparrow Drive, Rick 25 LLC.
Pardon me. Code Section 15141, 1571, 6195. I observe this, dead, dying, and missing landscape. I observe this violation on 2325. Send out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2425 and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
All right, you have a affidavit of service. I think my kid went there. What would you like?
Compliance by 529 or 611 fine hearing or $50 a day fine.
Ooh, she changed it up to 50 just to make sure I was awake.
That's correct. Thank you.
529, 611, 50
Pine
is
trees,
granted.
dangerous. So, yeah, it's $50.
Not a problem.
25-0110, 105 Oriole Court, Thao El Fong Mai, and Tam Thi Lee.
Code Section 06190D, 1557. Planted areas are not maintained. High grass and weeds along fence, house and fence. I observe this violation on 2325. Send out notice of violation, notice of hearing. Certified mail on 2425. Posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, posting is service. What would you like?
This case, Code Section 6190D, which is the planted area is not maintained, is a finding of fact. For the other code section, compliance by 529 or appearance at the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
06190D is a finding of fact. For the rest of it, 1557, 529, 611, 25.
Thank you.
Thank you.
25-0136, 131 J Court, Solomon Silberstein.
Code Section 124C, 06190A, 2, 3, and 5. Garbage cans are left curbside and in public view. Sidewalk and driveway are stained. Driveway paint is faded and weathered. Observe this violation on 21025. Send out notice of violation. Certified mail with a notice of hearing on 21125 and posted these to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, posting is service. They seem to like to rotate different garbage cans to the front yard.
06190A, 2, 3, and 5, which is all the staining, is a finding of fact. The garbage cans compliance by 529 or 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0139, 160 Dove Circle, Michael R. and Nina M. Martin.
Code Section 15141, 15132, dead tree in swale. Observe this violation on 2/10/25, sent out notice of violation and a notice of hearing, certified mail on 2/11/25, and posted this to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
They didn't notice that at all.
No date, it's from yesterday.
It's okay. Affidavit of service is service, so they got a tree without a top. What would you like?
Compliance by 529 or the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0144, 193 Dove Circle, Leo Vigildo, Gonzalez Trust, Katiuska D. Gonzalez Trustee, probably Leo Vigildo, and Katiuska D. Gonzalez Trust.
Code Section 0619835 and 6135. Sidewalk and driveway are stained. House numbers are not posted on the structure. Observe this violation on 2/10/25. Sent out notice of violation with a notice of hearing on 2/11/25. Got that back on 2/14/25. Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right. Signed green card equals service. What would you like?
The A3 and 5, which is a staining again, is complied, so that's finding a fact. And the other code section, compliance by 529 or 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
So they do the hard part and they leave the easy part because, hey, world works that way. Granted.
25-0148, 212 Bob White Road, Riccott and Vanessa V. Genti.
Code Section 06198A3, driveway is stained. Observe this violation on 2/10/25. Send out notice of violation with a notice of hearing, certified mail on 2/11/25, and posted this to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
You can see the lawnmower tread marks across the swale or the lower portion of the driveway.
At least they moved the disabled vehicle.
You have a affidavit of service. What would you like?
Compliance by 529 or the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0168, 209 Salcedo Street, Monica Williams.
Code Section 06198A35 and I, sidewalk and driveway are stained, tarp on back of the home patio structure. Observe this violation on 2/13/25, sent out notice of violation with a notice of hearing, certified mail on 2/14/25, and they got the green card on 2/18/25. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Signed green card equals service. What would you like?
The 06190A3 and 5, which is a staining, is a finding of fact. The 06190I, which is the tarp, compliance by 529 or appearance at the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
29, 611, 25 is granted.
Thank you.
1208 Stardust Way, Michael Garcia and Brenda Y. Cabrera.
Code Section 14.2 and 12.4C, miscellaneous items in public view, garbage can in public view. Observe this violation on 2/20/25. Send out notice of violation with a notice of hearing, certified mail on 2/24/25. I received the green card signed and not dated on 2/28/25. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, signed green card equals service.
In this case, Code Section 12.4C, which is the garbage can in view, is a finding of fact. For the other 14.2, compliance by 529 or the 611 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0226, 231 Bob White Road, IH6 property, Florida LP.
Code Section 15-132, grass and weeds are growing onto the sidewalk. I observed this violation on 2/25/25, sent out a notice of violation with a notice of hearing on 2/26/25, and they received it on 3/7/25. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, signed-ish green card equals service. Well, unsigned green card equals service, but it's returned. so it's good.
Compliance by 529, 5-1, or the 514 fine here, or $25 a day fine.
Is that it?
And did you have minutes
We got anything more?
that you're signing? No.
Did I already sign the minutes? Yes, I signed the minutes, and I looked at page 17, which had 254 Ponce de Leon for some strange reason, but I did.
Nothing further.
And late one.